Hump day. Move it right. Woo. Nah. Getting ready on the Friday. To keep it together. Here we go with the flow. Don't you know? Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good morning, and welcome to the show. We are here this Wednesday hump day morning, and we are live. My glasses are frogging up. Good morning. Oh my goodness. I think it's going to be a hot one today. Usually this early, it's pretty cool. It's already in the 70s, which isn't bad, but this early, that means it's probably going to be a scorcher later. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. No, I'm not. Not. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the show, everybody. Great to see so many wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, amazing people here once again, as always. So anyway, guys, good morning. Welcome to the show. We're here. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are joined once again by my beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, unbelievable co-host, the one, the only, Ray is here. What's up, Ray? How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Oh, yes. Are you, oh, man, I had to turn the air on. It's already got so hot. I'm like sweating. Well, you know, I was running around this morning trying to get some stuff taken care of. So I literally was outside, 10 minutes ago, trying to get something taken care of. But anyway, we're here. It's all good. So we got any updates? Obviously, you said the other day that you took the day off because you had like doctor's appointments and stuff. How'd all that go? I mean, I know, but for the audience,
Yeah, I got stitches out in my foot, so that's looking all good. To say that was the first time I ever got stitches out where it actually hurt a little bit, but it went all good. So I just have to keep it covered with like a Band-Aid, an actual Band-Aid. I'm down to that, so I'm happy. I don't have to keep covering it with like a bag when I take a shower and stuff. So I'm happy. Yeah. So then I had physical therapy come to the house. She says I look way wobbly, but that's expected because, more of my foot's gone. But I will be, she gave me exercises to do while she's not here. And hopefully I advance enough to where they start helping me, because I have my driveway is very steep. And so she's going to start teaching me how to get down the driveway with my rollator and stuff. But she said it's probably going to be like a diagonal thing going down instead of straight down, which I never thought of doing before. But so yeah, it's going to be, most of my physical therapy is going to be teaching me how to get down the hills around my house and stuff. So
that's, because when we talked before about movies once, I don't think you saw this, so you wouldn't get the reference. But what you just described made me think of, so in the movie Dune, they got their biggest threat besides other humans or people, that are after them on the planet itself. Their biggest worry is the sandworms. And if you walk, it's almost like the movie Tremors kind of stole the idea from Dune, because Dune's a really old book. But when you walk, they hear your footsteps and then they'll come and eat you. So they have to walk like in a sideways, like back and forth motion, so they're not in a straight line, so that it's not an easy target for the sandworms. So I just pictured them doing that side to side walk that they do in the movie when you were explaining that. And then I was just going to say, oh, you like the Dune walk. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I think she said she didn't see that movie. So I had to explain it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jason D was first. Here's your happy dance. All right. All right. Yes, thank you so much. Cliff Hickson is here. G'day. All right. So he was second. Highway Star, number 3. Hip, 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 hooray. Woo, Highway Star. Yeah. Jason D, number 2, reporting in, even though technically he was probably typing that while Cliff came in. Let's see. Cliff Hickson, Jason D. Who else we got? You want to do this one?
Jason D was checking in for the Karen Reed trial while waiting for Hez. It's Greg Jonas.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Cliff Hickson, Greg Jonak, Highway Star. Of course, my tiny Chihuahua life is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, and how about this guy?
How about
him? I want you to tell the joke. This is a great one.
Oh, a horse walks into a bar and the bartender asks him, why the long face?
Oh, man. Griffey, what's up? Wow. Let's see. Highway Star, Doc Lanu, Griffey. You know what's funny? Like, some stand-up comedians, like Norm Macdonald specifically, was really good at this. But that joke made me think of some stand-up comedians actually will take an old joke and find a way to like stretch it out into a whole bit. And back in the 80s, there was this comedian, what the heck was his name? Emo Phillips, who took that joke, horse walks into a bar, why the long face, and turned that into like a 15-minute bit. And it's one of his classic bits, actually, but it ends ultimately where they get into this deep conversation about God, and the punchline kind of comes down to, well, I mean, there's more to it. Like I said, it's like this big long bit that he does. But at one point, it comes down to the punchline being like, well, you know, God has a sense of humor. If he didn't, why wouldn't he give you a face that looks like a horse? You know, kind of a thing. Anyway, why the long face? Like he turned it literal. Like the guy literally had a horse face, you know. I don't know. I can't tell it. I'm not going to.
That's mean.
The joke is definitely it. I don't know, man. It was funny when I was 12. All right, Doc Leno, what's up? Good morning, my tiny 12 life. Yeah, this was back in the 80s. I was probably even younger than that. Emo Phillips is a good friend of Weird Al, by the way, and he was in the new Weird Al movie, which we've talked about before. It's a movie about Weird Al, but it's making fun of movies like
parody, making fun of parodies. Yeah, it's parody making fun of parodies.
Yep. Jason D is here, ladies and gentlemen. Ray is here, of course. What's up? All right. Kingstu 2000. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Kingstu. Great to see you. Let's see. Oh, the Lessinator is here. Good morning, everybody. It's a lovely sunny afternoon here. I hope you're all having a good one so far. So far, so good. And yeah, I can see out your window. It's still dark by you. Yep. We're starting to. The sun's starting to come up.
It's 4:18 in the morning.
I always forget that, like, to be here, you gotta get up like before the ass crack of dawn. Like, oh man. Believe me, I know you know, but just, you know, I gotta always say, you have no idea how much I appreciate everything you do for the show, both on and off the screen. Like, thank you so much.
I know.
I really, truly do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see how we start. Terry Barnes is here. Good morning. God bless. God bless you too, sir. Let's see. Oh, how about you want to say hello to this one for me?
Florida Jim. Good morning. From the Florida Rashers Breakfast Club.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Oh, here's another one for you. I want you to read this.
Oh,
too.
Sorry. David E. Persons or David E. People. You ever wonder what lawyers wear to work? Lawsuits. Do you think of these jokes, David, or do you get them somewhere? Because they're pretty funny.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Mr. Thomas is here. Things are getting better. Things are getting better thanks to my family having my back. It's so important when you have a supportive family, whatever you're going through, that makes all the difference in the world, you know? So that's great. Congratulations on that. Hopefully everything.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because I was worried about you yesterday, like, you know, what's going on with them, because I didn't get to really see you. So I'm happy things are going okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Absolutely, positively. Brian Shulman is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Brian. Let's see what else. Oh, look at this. It's Gremlin's Frauditor Ambush Zone.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
How you doing? Good morning, Gremlin. How you doing today?
Welcome. David.
Wait a minute. Listen. We got 5 gifted memberships from Donna Ray. All right.
Hey, Donna, good morning.
All right. Thank you so very much. Yes, I love it.
Am I losing it, or is Patrick Gallagher having a problem with his keyboard or something?
I don't know. I'll see when I get there. Let's see. We got Jason D, Highway Star. We got Gremlin. Frauditor Terminator's here. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Frauditor Terminator.
Let's see. 10H12, Gremlin Frauditor. Patrick Dagler. Oh, yeah, maybe. Either there's something wrong with his keyboard, or he's trying to tell us something without telling us something. Dun, dun, dun. It's secret code. It actually says, hey, everybody, how's it going? I'm sorry. I just pictured Butthead, like whenever he meets a girl. Hey, baby, how's it going? Cheeky Monkey wrote the Bible. Let's see. I just had me dinner: eggs, bacon, tomato, sausage, chestnut mushrooms, black pudding, beans, waffles, baked potatoes, fried bread, and a large mug of coffee. Now I'm waiting for dessert. LOL. Oh my goodness, I got to start eating at your house. Holy crap, hammer sandwich sauce. That's a lot.
Sounds like an Irish breakfast.
Yeah,
Except for
seriously.
dinner. Yeah, breakfast for dinner, and it sounds like one of those big Irish breakfasts, that they have.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, me, when I have meals, I have stuff like a box of ramen noodles and, a cheese sandwich. Can we use the sandworms against frauditors? Yes.
I wish we could. I wish.
Oh, yeah, Patrick Dagler again. Look at this.
Dude, are you being
I bet he's drunk.
Kidnapped? Drunk? What's going on? Do we need to send help?
Yeah. Darling Renee, I love Demo Phillips. I haven't thought of him in decades. Yeah, man, he had an extremely unique style. Like he was a weirdo, and he's from Chicago too.
Tell him that, Ron. Sorry.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's wait, what were we saying?
Well, look, he got one there that almost looks like it makes sense, kind of. Hey, and then a whole bunch of, and then hey, tiny chihuahua. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. You need help, so
If you can't say because they're watching, put 2 question marks and an asterisk in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, has Ray Mods in chat in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and has it's pronounced Clot, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Ron Klotzer. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. I'll probably not remember that, but I'll try.
I tried, Ron, to tell him the other day it's Klotzer, but he didn't hear me, I think. So.
You know what's funny? Now that he said that, and I look at his last name, it literally is pronounced exactly how it's spelled. And that reminds me of my real life last name. And everyone always did that to me my whole life, especially in school. All the teachers
don't get it.
Their names. It's literally pronounced exactly the way it's spelled.
No, because there's no E at the end, so you wouldn't think that, though. I get how people can mistake your last name. There's no E at the end. So
right.
Think that the last part is pronounced that way.
Right. But yes, Klotzer, thank you so much. I appreciate the appreciation. Hey, look, we got Electric Glide 28's in the house. What's up?
Good morning.
Oh, Mr. Thomas has a corny joke of the day. Let's see.
Remember those days when we as kids used to swing entire swings and play in the tire at the playground? Those were good years. I'll see myself out. No, please stay. That was funny, actually. I like that.
Yes. I got to start. See, that's why I need my damn buttons back, because every time we do that, I need.
Well, you have it.
No, the machine. What I did was I uploaded some sound effects to the sound bank on StreamYard, but then I have to go into that other screen, and then I have to scroll through and then find them and then click them.
Yeah.
As opposed to on the button thing, if you guys remember, I actually put I stuck different pieces of what's that stuff, right? Velcro on the buttons, so that I don't even have to look. I could just feel and know which button it is based on what it felt like. So that made it a lot smoother and easier. Let's see, Electric Glide, Highway Star, Donna Ray, Jason Gutterman. What? Somebody said Jason Gutterman. Oh no, we don't want to get sued. We can't say Jason. Can we say Jason Gutterman?
Jason Gutterman?
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Why can't we say Jason Gutterman?
Yeah, I don't know, but I do know that Parson 1122 is here. All right.
There is.
And so we're ready to start our Monday. Did I say Monday?
Wednesday?
I said Monday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Finally, it's like a hump day. So we're
Hump day, yes.
finally. I
Wednesday.
told my sister yesterday when I talked to her, I'm like, this feels like the longest week in history. I don't know why, but it seems to be like dragging out, you know.
Well, actually, that's bizarre that you say that because I was thinking exactly the same thing. It's
Yeah.
only Wednesday. Wow, it
Yeah.
does. This week somehow feels weird.
Yeah. But she's had a week that when my sister, Monday, I don't know, she woke up to a flat tire. Like she had a screw in her tire. So she had to have it towed because they couldn't keep enough air in it for her to drive somewhere to get it fixed. But ended up not being able to fix it. She had to spend like $180 on a tire. She was all mad. And then, it's closing because she's an accountant. So like the first week of the month is always closing for the previous month. So her boss was like at her, and she's
right.
Like, so she called me up in the middle of the live actually on Monday. And she was like,
oh yeah, that's right.
I'm like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I gotta go. But yeah, she wasn't having a good day. But then it seems like the week has just been drag.
Maybe it's something to do with the time of year. It's the beginning of June, we're going into summer, weather's changing, everything's changing. It's outside.
Maybe
and then
you guys, but here it's right now it's 52. I'm cold.
Oh, yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I got the air conditioner. I mean, it's off screen, but it's literally like right next to me, and I have the wind blowing on me. And I'm just like, come on, cool me off.
No.
Yes.
Good morning, Rooster. Good morning, Jennifer.
What's up? Great to see you.
Who's this guy?
I don't know. Gurahame.
Garfield Grahafard. Yeah, I don't know. Some dude.
Grab a bomb show. What was that?
Keeps showing up here every day.
Yeah, right. What's wrong with this guy? All the way from the UK.
Yelling at us that we don't say his name.
Now all we need is for that bartender dude to show up.
Who's that?
What's his name? Uncle Artie.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Bottom shelf booze. I mean, so bottom shelf, it's like buried under the ground.
It's the stuff that you get when you can't even afford the Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah. I don't want to think about that. It's it just immediately makes me like
too many bad memories with that one. Yeah, I remember when I was right. Oh my goodness.
Jägermeister, you'll see colors like the rainbow of colors, and
yeah. That's one thing about Mad Dog that I've noticed is that, like, when we were kids, it was like you drank that because that was the only thing you could get your hands on, or it was the only thing you could afford. So I never really thought about it that way. But especially now as an adult, when I go to a liquor store and I see the Mad Dog on the shelves, I realize like they're putting some kind of neon food coloring or something in there. Because, those colors are completely unnatural.
Because you're not going to find that in natural fermentation of whatever.
Right.
The younger crowd.
Exactly.
If you see that nice ice blue color, you're like, oh, that's nice looking. I'm going to get that,
Right. It's like, it's not the blue you get from fermented blueberries. Hey.
No. Good morning, Chef. How are you doing?
Yes, great to see you.
Yeah, but it's attractive to the younger crowd. They like that, the different colors of the alcohol. I mean, even a lot of vodkas started doing that, even if they weren't bottom shelf,
Yeah.
And the bottles started getting more fancy, and it's like you're paying more for the bottle than you are the actual alcohol.
Well, honestly, I don't know, but just based on, because especially when I was younger, I didn't know a damn thing about booze or whatever. But it always seemed to me that whole thing was a result of the movie Cocktail, because Tom Cruise is pouring those like fluorescent blue drinks, and doing all that fancy stuff behind the bar. And that movie was so popular that I think that's what made that sort of whole thing a thing. Like people want the big, bright colored booze when it's obviously they're just adding lots of artificial crap to it to make it look like that.
I don't know.
Oh, neither do I.
Cocktail wasn't that. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea.
It's Tom Cruise. That's all it is.
Right. It's the only reason people saw that movie.
He's not that impressive to me. I don't know. But.
Well, yeah, that's not one of my favorite movies either. I'm just saying it seemed to me like, again, not knowing much about booze, especially at that age at that time, it just seemed to me like I started to notice more and more the big, bright colored alcohols after that movie came out. So I don't know if, like, because I saw that movie, it made me notice it more, or if it became more popular because of that movie. I have no idea.
I don't know. But good luck, Chef.
Yes.
Good luck with your interview this afternoon.
So, hey, Hez, what's up? Richard Allman. Hey, what's up, Richard? Been a minute. How's it going?
You do, Donna? It's a gray liquor bottle from Russia that's about 3 feet high. That's pretty cool. I bet there was vodka in it.
Oh, man. And it's funny, too, because I've read some stuff, because obviously you always hear those jokes, oh, Russians and vodka and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that's actually a real thing. Like, vodka is huge in Russia.
You know, all jokes and stereotypes, they're rooted in truth. Most of them
There's something that made people start.
In truth. Yeah. And vodka and Russians are they go hand in hand. Trust me.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you're Russian. Yeah.
Well, thanks for just throwing that out there.
You've said it before on the air.
Not that loudly, just and kind of in passing, but yeah, it's not a good time to be Russian. People think you side with them with this whole thing, and I do not. I'm just gonna put that out there. Do not. Okay. Called cocktails, not brightly colored drinks. There's other drinks than light beer. What? We're talking about the things you make for the cocktails, like the alcohol in the store is brightly colored. Graham, that's what we're saying. That before you mix it into a cocktail, it's brightly colored.
There's other drinks besides light beer. Say it ain't so. No, listen. First of all, whiskey's brown and it's not light beer.
Literally, a Russian from Russia gave it to me. Well, there you go. Because I would say that Russia and vodka, they pretty much probably put it in their baby bottles, you know.
I'll tell you what. That reminds me. I am not a fan of vodka. I am not a fan of tequila. But the best tequila I ever had, I loved it, was legitimately when I lived here, I was working in this basically a bodega, and the guy I was working with was this Mexican dude, and I'm not Mexican. I mean, like, he's from Mexico, like he's a Mexican dude, like, and every couple weeks he would take a week off to go visit his family in Mexico and then come back. And he liked me. Me and him, even though he didn't speak English and my Spanish is terrible, we got along great. We worked together every day, and he really liked me. So one time when he visited Mexico, he came back, and as a gift, he gave me a bottle of Mexican tequila from Mexico. And that stuff was amazing. I didn't even want to drink it at first because I'm like, I hate tequila. But like, I'm like, this is the real stuff, obviously. I'm going to try it. And then, wow, this stuff is so good. Like, I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, there is something to be said for, and even with food, like, I've always wanted to, like, try different ethnic type foods in the countries they're from, because they make it different.
I actually have to address this comment. Not so much here. A lot of them are American born. So
Well, yeah, she's on the East Coast, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
Um,
on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. And
did I just say East?
yes.
What's wrong with me this morning? I said it
I
was
don't know.
Monday.
A lot of them are American born.
Uh,
Here, anyway. I don't know about there if there's a lot of them, but they're American born here. But you're right. When you get it authentically from that country where it's not exported, or imported to other countries, it's good stuff. I mean,
yeah,
it's really good. So, but the food, when you go there and taste the food, like you don't go to a tourist place to eat. You go find the off like beaten path places where they go to eat. The
right,
food will be much better, much cheaper too. And so you should do that because Mexican food is not like we
if you
we
were
think
in
it is
Mexico,
here. Right.
right,
It's a lot different, it's like it's not we're the ones that like it like real spicy. They don't cook with a lot of like hot spicy food. They like spice, but not like super hot. You know what I mean? It's not,
right,
not like that. If you have to beaten path there, you're not going to find it like super hot. It's spiced and it's cooked well and it's really good, but it's not like it's going to burn your face off.
right. Well, it's like I always say, it's a difference between spice and seasoning. Like you always want to season your food. You want your food to be well seasoned, but it doesn't necessarily have to be so hot that your eyes are watering and you can't breathe. you know?
No, the food there is absolutely amazing if you go off the beaten path,
Right.
It's man.
Well, even like when we talk about home, right? Everyone's like, "Oh, I got to go to Chicago and get a Giordano's pizza." It's like, well, when you live in Chicago, you want to get the pizza from the places that the people who live in the neighborhood are buying their pizzas from.
Yeah. Go to the local places. Yeah, you can go and eat at those name brand get your deep dish, but try the local places. That's where you're going to get your absolutely bomb amazing pizza from. Is the local places. Same with the hot dog places. Yeah, you can go to Portillo's or whatever, but you're not going to get a really good hot dog until you go to those neighborhood places.
Right. I just yesterday on the show, I played that short. I think I sent you it once a while ago. I played that short where it was that guy where all of his videos are basically shorts about Chicago, and it's like a takeoff of Good Will Hunting, but they're talking about Chicago, and he's talking about Portillo's, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're a first-year Chicagoan, and you're talking about Portillo's got this, got that, and the other thing. Meanwhile, you got a beef sandwich, a hot dog, fries, and a Coke for $15 at Portillo's when you could have got the same stuff at Joey's down the street for $9 or whatever it was, Like, yep.
Yeah. It's like the one I sent you where they're in the interrogation room, and he's like, "You from Chicago? No, you're from Naperville, But then I'm from Chicago. No, you're from Naperville,
Yep.
And the one guy passed, and the criminal passed that he's from Chicago, but it was actually the detective that was from Naperville.
Yep.
Couldn't get the accent down.
Yeah. And then there was another one from that same channel where this guy's in the drive-thru at Portillo's, and because they have the people taking orders from outside.
Yeah.
So the guy's standing outside, he pulls up to him, and the guy's like, he comes into the window, the Portillo's guy. He's like, "Okay, so what do you want?" He's like, "Well, I'd like to look at a menu." He's like, "That's funny. No, seriously, what do you want?"
What do you want? Yeah.
"What do you mean?" He's like, "Look, you want the beef, the burger, the hot dog, or which one?" It's like, "Well, what do you mean? I heard you guys got a good things.
That's the three things you have to choose from, all right? Pick one.
Yeah. And then the guy in the car is like, "Well, I heard you guys got a good chopped salad." He's like, "Are you a dude? You look like a man. So which one do you want? The burger, the beef, or the
yeah, or the hot dog? Yeah, it's like you got three things, right? Three things.
And then finally the guy goes, "All right, fine, I'll take the beef." He's like, "All right, do you want it dipped?" Oh, now he's got to explain what dipped means to the guy. Meanwhile, the cars behind him are honking their horns. Come on, order your food. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was the one thing that gave the guy away too, is he had a dry Italian beef. And like, and the way he said like front room and garage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Say it right, or you're not from Chicago,
Yep.
Front room.
Or the
Right.
living room? That's even worse.
Yeah, why would you call it that? Or family room? What?
It's the
Living
front room.
front room. Yeah, front room, and it's one word, front room. And garage. Yeah, garage.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
I like
fun.
those shorts. They're good. They're really good
Mhm.
shorts. Anyway, so what do
Yeah,
we got
growing
on
up.
deck today?
All right, so well, the first thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, just because I've been talking about the story since the beginning, but I'm not going to show anything, and I'm going to explain all that right now. So, for those of you who don't remember, I'll just give a brief little summary. A few years ago, there was a couple of cars that were pulled over on the side of the road, and the police stopped to see if they were okay. And 11 dudes, fully dressed up in like military garb and bulletproof vests and all this, with ARs and pistols and all these guns, jump out of the car. Some of them ducked into the woods, and it ended up being like a 18-hour standoff with the police and all that, and they got arrested. And it turned out they were a group of Moors. Mark Baggett's here. What's up?
Good
The
morning.
Rise of the Moors. Their trial just started a few days ago. Finally, after all these years, their trial is finally going. And I wanted to cover it and talk about it this whole time. I was waiting for it because I wanted to cover it, because I covered the whole story as it, when it was all brand new and just happened. And so Truth Science has been posting the trial so far. So if you guys want to actually watch it, it's on Truth Science's channel. The past couple of days, I mean, he's posting the whole thing. So these videos are like 4 hours long. So I'm not showing anything from it because, one, they're that long, but two, that specific courtroom, first of all, there's only one camera and it's pointed at the judge the whole time.
Mhm.
And two, the audio is atrocious. You could barely hear what anyone's saying, even with the volume turned all the way up. I had to have the volume turned all the way up and the subtitles on just to try and follow what was going on. But since the camera's only on the one person, it gets confusing. And also, this trial is getting even more confusing because they have two people on trial at the same time. Jamal Latimer, who's the leader of the Rise of the Moors, and one of the other defendants is one of the 11 people that was there. Basically, there were two cars, so it's the two guys who were physically behind the wheel of the two cars. This is what I made out of it from what I was able to pick up. So he has a lawyer, like the other guy has his own lawyer. So all you can see is the judge, and you're hearing different arguments, and sometimes it's harder to follow. But also you have the prosecutor and then two defense attorneys for the two. So then it gets even more confusing because the camera's just on the judge, so you don't even know who's talking half the time.
Mhm.
But it is interesting because Jamal's defense obviously is like, hey, I'm a Moor, I don't have to blah, 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 whatever. But what's interesting to me, are they both the king? Well, the thing that's interesting to me about the other guy's defense is that it seems like they're kind of setting the stage of throwing Jamal under the bus, because his lawyer is saying things like, well, this particular individual, did you see him holding any guns? Well, there were guns in the car and all of it. Okay, did he have any? Well, no. And they were talking about, they were showing clips of Jamal talking to the cops, specifically saying, you got any questions? Don't talk to them. Talk to me. I'm the one in charge. I'm the one in charge. So they're trying to sort of put it almost like Jamal convinced this guy to go along with them kind of against his will, and I mean, maybe or whatever. But like I said, it's hard. There was a court that had a camera that was behind the judge and was pointed down at the desk while people were testifying. The camera caught him playing games on his phone and he was terminated.
You would think he would remember there was a camera there.
Right? But anyway, yeah, if you want to go ahead and watch that footage, like I said, he's been posting it every day. So at this point, I think there's like 10 hours total of footage. It's on Truth Science's channel. It is kind of interesting, but it also, like I said, because there's so much going on and there's only one camera angle, it gets kind of confusing. You just hear voices and you don't know who's speaking when, and it's all garbled and hard to understand. So what I just explained is what I sort of got out of it, but don't quote me on anything I just said, because like I said, it's so difficult to follow sometimes that I'm not even sure if that actually is their defense. Whatever. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women and children of all ages, it looks like Joey Surreal Camera made a wish that I never even knew I had come true. We're going to show a video by the Lucid Dream where Joey is auditing and gets approached by someone trying to sell him on the sovereign citizen philosophy. It's like this lady sees him arguing with the cop and thinks, oh, this guy has a problem with government. He's the perfect patsy to fall for my anti-government conspiracies. I'm gonna try to pitch him and convert him over to the sovereign citizen side. And well, I don't want to give too much away. If you guys haven't seen this video, this stuff is amazing. So
I think the world is gonna implode. It's like,
right? It's like the immovable object hits the irresistible force, and what happens? Oh no!
Right.
Oh,
it was crazy. So here, let me get this going here.
Yes.
Welcome back to my corner of the internet, guys. I am the Lucid Dream, and this one was just too good to wait on. It was too entertaining. There is not a whole lot of frauditing going on in this video, but what happens just, it made me laugh. So we're going to watch it. First and foremost, thank you to all of my channel members and subscribers. Without you, I would not be here. So as always, every day, thank you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Here, which this would be my first time entering this Collier County courthouse. As I did my research, they have the same bogus, unconstitutional judge's order as Lee County, which Lee County is right next to Collier County, that you cannot video record anywhere in this building. Mind you, there's several departments here that the public goes in and conducts business. For example, like the clerks of courts, which that's why I was trying to enter that building to file a public records request with them. So as I entered, very peaceful and respectful, exercising my rights, things escalated real quick. Thanks to the cocky deputy S. Acosta, which you will see exactly why I'm saying this, and make sure you stick around to the very end because this gets interesting, and trust me, a complaint was filed. Enjoy the video. Record in here. I bet you watch this.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that anyone is going to care that a complaint was filed. Also, judge's order is not unconstitutional. A judge is allowed to do that. They have the power of the law behind them to be able to do that. So you were just SOL and complaining about nothing.
All right. For real? Really? Why is that? Is that a law on that?
What's that?
Is it a law on that?
There's a sign out front that says you can't film in there, you can't take any photographs.
So I can't conduct business in there? I got to do some public records?
Come in here with a phone, you just can't record or take pictures.
That's crazy. That's a policy or a law. That's not the law. I have a right to record in here.
Sebastian, you want to take care of this for me, please?
That's unconstitutional, man.
You have to step outside for me, please.
For real?
The deputy will explain it to you.
That's weird, man.
There's a sign out front that says
So I can't conduct business while I'm recording here. Is my right?
You can't record or you can't take pictures.
Really? That's very unconstitutional.
Outside, there's a sign
But
out
is that a state law or not, or what?
Sign out front, outside that says.
What's up, man? I'm just gonna conduct some business and file public. Really? I can't do that? Why is that?
I have no problem speaking to you over here.
Is that a state law on that?
You come outside with me, I'll talk to you.
We can talk right here, man.
No, I'm not going to do that here. So they don't want this camera in here.
Don't touch me,
Come on,
bro.
you got to go. You can't stay here.
So if I don't leave you, or what? You arrest
I'm
me?
going to make you come out, yeah.
How you gonna make me?
So I'm going to
Don't
escort
touch me.
you out. No.
Don't touch me.
No, I'm
Don't
gonna
touch me.
escort you out.
Don't touch me, though.
Listen.
No, don't touch me, man. What's your name and badge number?
Acosta.
Come on, I didn't come here for this.
Me
bro.
neither.
Come on. You just put your hands on me, bro.
Yeah, I have the right to do
No,
that.
you have the right to put your hands on me?
I do.
No, you don't. What's your name?
3933.
All right, I'm gonna file a complaint. You can't put
Yes,
your hands
sir.
on people.
Yes, sir.
What makes you think that?
Well, go ahead, file a complaint.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Why would you put your hands on me?
So
You didn't give me a chance to come out.
So I'm trying to talk to you.
I know.
Right?
I
So
come here
I have-
very
listen to me.
respectful, man.
You asked me a question. I'm going to answer.
If I put my hands on you, what would happen?
It's not going to be good for you.
Why?
So
What
I
makes you?
because
What
I
gives you?
escorted you out. And I
You
can
don't
do
have
that.
to touch me.
But listen to me. The law says I can.
What law
you
is
don't have
that?
to agree with it. Listen.
No, what
listen.
law is that?
So you're going to go across the street and you can speak about
Hold
that.
on, I'm already outside.
Yeah.
What law gives you the right to put your hands on me?
So if you go across the street, they'll tell you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Tell me, you're the one who put your
No,
hands on me.
I can escort you out.
You can do it. You
And
can
I
tell
just
me to
did.
leave.
And I
You can
just
tell
did.
me to leave, but you
And I just
cannot
did.
touch me.
Sure.
No, you can't. You're wrong, bro.
So go
You're
next door,
misinformed,
file
man.
a complaint.
You're misinformed, man.
Okay.
I'm outside already. You
so
can't
when
do
you-
that.
when you
So what
file-
happens if I
listen.
put my hand on your back?
When you go over
What
next
happened?
door, find out.
What will happen?
You know what's gonna
I know what's gonna happen
You know
to me.
what's gonna
I know what's gonna happen to me.
That's right.
But you don't have the right to do that.
Okay. Then go file a complaint.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, so get back to work, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
You
you.
don't need to do that, bro.
Thank you.
I come to conduct business here, bro.
Now the real
you're
entertainment
very
is about to
unconstitutional,
start.
dude.
I was not expecting
You're not familiar
this.
with the First Amendment?
I guess not.
No.
I guess not. No.
You swore an oath to it,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. I guess not.
You don't give a shit.
You said that.
Nah, it looks like it. Your
Yeah.
demeanor, dude.
Yeah.
You don't do that,
Yeah.
bro. To people,
Yeah.
man, that have cameras, dude.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you the right, bro.
Yeah.
You don't do that. I'm gonna file a complaint on you
Go
now.
right ahead. Knock
I will.
yourself out.
You can't
Yeah.
put your hands on people.
Okay.
You said there's a law on that. What
Yeah.
law is that?
Go find out.
Can I just grab your attention?
Go find out.
Hi.
Can I grab your attention for a second?
Yeah, after he gets back to work.
I'm at work.
Nah, he can go back inside, bro.
Yeah. I'm at work. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll stay right here all day.
I'm getting paid right now.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay. Good.
So
Now the real entertainment is about to start. I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
we can talk right here.
Come on. No, it's okay if you don't mind.
I really would like
You
to know
don't
what you
have
have to
to.
say, but this guy just put his hands on me.
Yeah.
Oh.
You don't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that badge and gun, bro.
I know.
You shouldn't do that.
Go
bro.
talk to them.
Nah, I will.
All right.
I'll take.
Okay.
You don't do that. You don't escort people out like that.
Okay.
Why would you do that? I'm asking you. Why would you put your hands on me? Why? Now you don't want to talk.
I already said what I had to say.
No.
You don't want to hear what I have to say.
Nah, it's
I'm
not.
not gonna completely
It's not.
repeat
No,
myself.
it's not that. But why? I just want to know. I'm curious. Why would you put your hands
already
on
had
me?
the
Why
conversation.
though?
We
Why?
already had
What
this
makes you think that
conversation.
you have this power?
We already had
You don't
this
have this
conversation.
power, dude.
Then
You
go
don't.
talk to them. They'll
Only
tell
if
you.
I'm arrested, dude.
Okay.
Only if I'm detained
Okay.
legally. You can't do that to
Okay.
people. Can you do that to her?
Sure.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
put your hands on her.
I can.
You think you're a smart ass, dude? You shouldn't
know.
even be a cop,
I know.
bro.
I know.
You're a smart ass.
know.
You shouldn't even be a
I
cop,
know.
bro. This is why the issue we have in
I
America.
know. I know.
This cops like you, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't give a shit. You're a clown,
Yeah.
dude. Go ahead. What were you? Dude, you can tell me. You can tell me right here. This guy's a clown,
think
dude.
he's
Acosta's
afraid
a
to
clown.
walk
I'm not
away with
afraid.
it or something.
Nah.
I think that
I
maybe
think
what
he-
I would have to say might
he's
shed some
afraid.
light on it.
No. All right. This guy's the biggest clown. I really want to know what you got to say. So we'll step over here. Come on, let's go. Yeah, we'll step over here. Get back to work, man. You got to respect the public. You can't be doing that.
All right.
Respect the
Yeah,
public.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't do that, dude.
Okay.
This is why we have a disconnect
Okay.
with the people. That's why you guys earn the hate.
I know, I
That's
know.
why you guys earn the hate.
I
dude.
know.
Definitely
I
disconnect.
know.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You guys earn the hate on a daily basis because of assholes like you. You're an asshole. Go ahead. What did you say?
Hi. So,
What's your name?
my name is Kiki Kai.
Hi. Kiki, you touch me too?
Huh?
I'm kidding.
Is it okay? I think you would.
Why does everybody like to touch me?
Because you have strength in your
Nice.
shoulders. Look at him. He's like.
Hey, clown.
No, be nice. Okay.
I'm gonna file a complaint on you. I'm gonna hold you accountable, Baldy. Go ahead.
Understand that you're upset. So my name is.
No, it's not that. I'm just trying to conduct business in there, recording, and people have they have a meltdown over a camera.
Well, okay.
So who are you?
I'm not going to dispute that. My name is Kiki. I'm from Starlet. Hi, how you doing?
Hi. So after you meet Kiki over here and hear everything that she has to say, the Collier County Sheriff's Department is right across from this courthouse. So let's see how it goes there when I file that complaint on Deputy S. Acosta right after this.
So what we do is we actually help people understand that what's actually occurring. So the constitutional rights that you're looking for are based upon the documents that you have to provide.
What do you mean by that?
So in other words, what I mean by that is if you have, were you born in Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you have a birth certificate at Vital Statistics?
Can we go to the shade?
Yeah. I was trying to get you over here.
That was my bad. I'm dripping.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get you over here.
Okay, go ahead.
To kind of bring down the heated argument.
Okay.
So essentially what the courts do is the courts enforce agreements. You understand?
Agreements for what?
Any agreements and all agreements. If you have an agreement, then they're going to enforce it. So when you were asking him, when you go back over the tape and you say, hey, what gives you the right to do that? And he kind of looked at you, just kind of straight faced. It's because there's either an agreement in place to enforce against you, or there's no agreement to enforce for you.
Mm-hmm.
He can't tell you that. He can tell you that, but he can't tell you that in a diction or a language that you would plainly understand, because they don't speak plain English.
Mm-hmm.
They speak a language that's called forked tongue, also known as legalese.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a language barrier. So when you said there's a disconnect, I said there's absolutely a disconnect. There's absolutely a disconnect, because everything is structured based upon a different language.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is that you don't speak the language that he speaks, and he doesn't speak the language that...
So this is either what nightmares are made of, a frauditor and a sovereign citizen coming together like this, or this is what comedy gold is made of, or both. I mean, it could very well be both, but I was absolutely not expecting that when she walked up. I thought she was going to be some like court official who was going to try and calm him down. No, it gets worse. It gets so much worse.
The language that
So before we get really into what's going to happen with the rest of this, what do you think of this interaction so far?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
You always do this. The wrong possible moment.
I apologize.
I think he's standing there just in awe that a woman is talking to him, first of all, and that she touched him, second of all.
Right?
And I don't think he understands a word of what she's saying.
Oh, no, he has no clue. And it's funny. Go ahead.
He's just like, when's it my turn to talk?
And when it is his turn to talk, all he does is recite the same thing over, and you're going to see the whole time. Every time it's his turn to talk, he's like, "Yeah, but I could record in there, right?" Well, what about?
She even says, "Why do you want to do that?"
Right. And of course, Lucid Dream points it out too. But yeah, it's like the frauditing idea is so ridiculous that even a sovereign citizen, which is as nutty as you could get, is like, why the hell do you want to go in there and record? Like, what's the point of that? Like, what does that do? It would have been funny if she handed him a Watchtower pamphlet. Yeah. Somebody said that in the comments yesterday, Ray. You weren't here, so I don't know if you saw it. Somebody said in the comments yesterday, like, if I saw a frauditor, I'd just start talking to them about the Lord, and then they'd leave. It's like, yeah,
Talk to
that's
about
what
any nonsense like that, Jesus, or pretend like you're a devil worshiper, or just start like she's doing, just spout some nonsense like sovereign citizen, Moorish,
right.
national stuff, and they'll probably just be like, and
Right.
run off.
Or like that one lady, that one YouTuber said, when she was like, just start telling them you need money and asking them for money.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, man, come on, loan me $1,500. Come on, I got to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bye.
Yeah. They'll go away from you real quick, because they're like, no, I need money. No,
Yeah.
I need money. No, I need money.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, guys, this I bet he'd want to record his mommy going to the bathroom. Oh, Uncle Artie, if you haven't seen this video yet, this gets crazier and crazier. And having a frauditor, having a sovereign citizen trying to sell their idea to a frauditor is just, and again, I can see why she was interested, because the interaction he was having the cop, in her head, coming from the sovereign citizen point of view, is, here's an anti-government person. Well, let me teach him how to actually do the anti-government thing. And he's not an anti-government person at all. He's just an idiot who's trying to get paid for harassing people on YouTube.
Yeah. She doesn't know that, though, but she just, so why would you want to get the confusion on her face when he talks about recording is like,
yeah, that's my favorite part. Like, I could go in there and record, right? And she's like, why would you want to do that? Like, and just in general, like, not just with this specific interaction, just in general. And I've said this before, I feel this is more akin to a Scientologist talking to a Pastafarian, two individuals just spouting their scripts, trying to convert the other.
Yeah, that's it.
plenty of time to spread the word of Junior Bob Dobbs and the Church of the Subgenius. Yeah. But
Hi, everyone but us. Oh, boy.
Jack Nabbit, Artie. By the way, if you didn't know, I got your email yesterday. Thank you so much. That I needed that. But yeah, so let's get, well, I was talking about, well, you know about the game thing that I'm making and how I have Uncle Artie's bar as one of the locations in it. And he sent me like his actual like logos and stuff. So I could actually make it look like the bar. Like good stuff. Thank you,
You're
Artie.
letting the cat out of the bag that Uncle Artie's actually nice.
Oh, no, we can't.
You're ruining his reputation out here.
Right?
All right.
Wait a minute. He's actually a good guy in real life.
Yeah, he's actually a good guy. All right. Back to the video.
Yes, indeed.
He is law enforcement, so he is enforcing the current law that's in place. The issue that you are missing, and when I say that, you can look that up because that's a triple meaning the way that I said that, is that you are missing your documents in this court for enforcement, which is what we came here to do this afternoon for the people that I'm with. Don't put them on the camera. They might not be comfortable. I don't mind. I'm all over YouTube. I'm all over. I've been doing this for about 12 years. So the liberty that you're looking for is in documents. You understand? And the documents that we're talking about, you don't have in this court. This is how he is able to enforce. And if you don't mind,
No.
you can record me touching the, yeah.
He can't. He can't. So you're telling me that he can touch me? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, what I'm saying. Do you want with sugar on it, or do you want the raw version of it?
I want it raw.
You want it raw, okay. So essentially your documents that you have dictating your slavery, is how they're able to do this.
No, they can't do that.
They can do this.
They
And
can't
the
put your hands on
constitutional-
people like that.
So here's
For
the
what?
thing. Okay. So,
If I'm breaking the law
uh-huh.
and I'm not like, if it's a lawful order or something like that and
Right.
bringing the law, that's a public building.
That's a contract.
Yeah, it's a public
This
building.
is a public building. Do you know the
We pay,
difference between?
who pays this building? The people, right?
Yes, but you're not part of the people.
Oh, I'm not.
I can feel his brain melting through space and time, through the computer. I can feel his brain melting because he does not understand what she's talking about. And she is just rocking his world right now.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
Who am I?
That's the problem. This is what
Who
I'm
am
trying
I?
to explain to you.
Who am I?
This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
I pay taxes though.
And
So
you
how am I not-
absolutely- Do you know what a tax is?
Listen, of course. Now,
Okay, what is
hold on.
Uh-huh.
Why would you say something like that? Why would you say that I'm not part of the people? What people am I? I want to know that. Like, who am I?
Okay, so let me explain. So you have a status, and that status is called civilitur mortuus. Okay, which is called civilly dead. Okay, just like 90, and being fair, about 96% of the population is called civilitur mortuus. If you are coming to this building other than to enforce your own law, if you are a defendant, if you are a respondent, that is because you are civilitur mortuus and you are engaging in trade and business, which is trading of everything. If there's a contract that's not operating in your place, they will trade you, they will trade your children, they will trade your car, they will trade your house, they will trade your pet, they will literally strip you of everything down to your socks, and they're being gracious if they leave you with your socks, based upon the constitutional provisions that you don't fall in line with. The Constitution of the state of Florida plainly states that you can be in prison for one thing and one thing only, and that is for fraud. 18 U.S.C. 1342 plainly states that you cannot use a name or an address or request to be named by anything other than your proper name, which is your name in first, middle, last. That's it. So do you have an ID on you? I don't need to see it. You can just say yes or no.
Oh, absolutely. I have an ID.
So your
of course.
ID does not have your name on it. It has your head on it, but it does not have your name on it. What it has is a lease. You are leasing this document from the state of Florida so that you can use their name. And when you pay rent, you are paying to use their name. Rent is the same thing as tax. It's called rent charge. So a tax is a public charge. So when you say this is a public building, you're putting yourself in the wrong category. You understand?
So what do you think about the Constitution? Forget all
The
that.
Constitution is a powerful document and it is considered a trust.
Okay.
And in order for you to be part of that provision, you need to bring your vital statistics, document, certificate of live birth in proper form, like I've been telling you, into here, into these records, and file it in here.
For me to take pictures?
Not for you to take pictures. Why would you take pictures?
I'm taking pictures.
You know, I know we're watching two people attempt to have a conversation, but at the same time, there's so obviously no one home on either side that this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I love how she says, well, why would you take pictures? Because even the sovereign citizens don't get it. Because no normal person, no, not even a sovereign citizen, understands why you have to be a jackass and go into places you are not supposed to be recording and record for the sake of YouTube. Even the sovereign citizens don't get it. You know it's bad at that point.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the money shot right there. So wait a minute. Are you saying that I can't take pictures? Why would you want to take pictures in there? Like even the soft it's like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you, what? But I love the way that she's trying to explain to him the I'm not a person thing. You know, we all know that those of us who talk about sovereign citizens that they have that I'm not a person thing, but trying to like, what do you mean I'm not part of the people? What do you mean I'm not part of the public? It's like, no, that's the problem. When you're part of the public, you're accepting their rules. So just don't accept them, and then you can do whatever you want. Like,
But that's the worst thing you could tell a frauditor is that they're not part of the people. Because if they're not part of the people, then they can't go in and redress their government or record the government in the course of their duties. You know what I mean? Because then
right.
who am I then? Oh my God. Why I can't record then? What do you mean? It's her confusion of why would you want to record? Like, why do you want to take pictures? What?
Yeah.
Who's talking about that, fool? No one's talking about that, you know?
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, of course, I could see not understanding what a sovereign citizen's trying to explain to you. You know, of course not. But again, when you have Dumb and Dumber coming together and clashing heads, oh, I got it. It's like two NPCs from two different games trying to interact, stuck saying their pre-programming. Saying that's a great way to say it, Chef. It's like they both have their little script, and each one just keeps repeating random things from their script, and neither of them are understanding what the other one's saying because they're both spotting nonsense anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they are both kind of, well, she's not kind of anti-government. She is anti-government.
Right.
But I always see frauditors as, even though they say they want to, you know, make change in the government, do this, that, and the other with the government, I always see them as very staunchly anti-government.
Right.
Because they are always like, you know, saying like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to listen to you. I don't, Fourth Amendment this, First Amendment that, you know, just fighting back always against the government about this. So that makes me feel like they are anti-government, you know, anti-police, anti-government. So basically, in my mind, they're coming at this whole anti-government thing from just two different angles.
Right.
They walk the same path. They're just two different understandings of it, two different belief systems when it comes to it.
Right. And that's why, like, again, Schrodinger always famously said that frauditors were like sovereign citizens light, like the light version of a soft because they don't go full anti-government. I'm not a human. I'm not a person. I'm a human. I'm not contracted with you guys or whatever.
SBT did. I mean, there's a lot of them that are starting to do that, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are some of them. I've even made some videos about some of them are straight up soft sits and have drank the Kool-Aid, you know, all the way down the line. But
they weren't before, but are now. I mean,
yep.
the SBT is one. He goes to court and acts like that, with your jurisdiction and all that crap. You know, I don't believe he really understands what he's saying. He just thinks he drags it out.
Spots the stuff from the script.
Yeah. That they'll drop it, you know.
Who was the one that used to, I actually made a video about him being a soft sit, the one that used to hang out with Good Guy Activism or whatever before he got canceled for filming the little girls on
Freeman?
the pier.
Freebird?
Yes,
Freeman?
yeah. He's a soft set. He's straight up soft set. But yeah, this whole interaction is just so bizarre on so many different levels. And one of the things that I've always said about these frauditors, just in general, and it comes up in this video, like what is actually going on before this interaction starts. I wanted to point out that this is another thing that they do that just proves to me that they don't really believe in what they say they believe in, that they're not really trying to do what they say they're trying to do. If your beef is that this courthouse or this whatever, post office, this building, whatever it is, City Hall, has an unconstitutional policy against filming, as soon as you walk in the door and you see the sign on the door that says no cameras, no filming allowed, and you film that sign, boom, there's your evidence that they have that policy.
Right.
Why do you still have to go inside and cause a ruckus?
Because just filming a sign isn't going to get you anything on YouTube. It's not going to get you subs. It's not going to get you clicks. It's not going to get you views. It's not going to get you paid.
Right. If your beef was with the sign, the fact that you filmed the sign in and of itself, there's your evidence.
Yeah, but you
You
need
got
to
your
go
evidence.
in. You need to go in and harass some poor secretary. You need to go in and harass the security guards. You need to go in and harass everybody who had nothing to do with that administrative order.
Yep.
Everybody who had absolutely nothing to do with it. You
Right.
need to file complaints. You need to make sure somebody almost loses their job or loses their job. Those are
Yeah.
There's a checklist of shit you need to do, Hez. Not just film a sign. Come on. It'll get you nowhere.
Right.
Are you new here? Are you new here?
The other piece of the puzzle too, with that specific argument, because I already know what they'd say. They'd be like, well, I have to go in there. Okay, I can't just show that they have the policy, but I have to prove that they're going to enforce it. Oh, so you're not there to fight the fact that they have the policy, because if they didn't enforce it on you personally, then you're not going to fight the policy, even though the policy exists. No, you're only against it if they actually enforce it on you personally. So once
Well,
again,
because
the frauditor is the only person that matters, and everybody else is nothing.
they don't care about anybody else's rights or anybody else's privacy or anything. We've been saying that even other people's right to film, they don't care about. They've proven that with you're nothing but a cam back Karen and Darren when somebody else tries to record them. I mean, so
Yep.
that sign isn't really what they care about. Being able to actually film in there isn't what they care about. They care about causing a ruckus,
Yep.
ruining somebody's day, getting somebody fired, making a complaint, doing everything they can to be just complete and total dicks.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. And I don't know. Let's see. I just realized we only got like 6 minutes to the cupcake dance. You want to go back to the video, or you want to try and filibuster for the 6 minutes?
It's up to you. Do you think that you'll miss the cupcake dance if we go more to the video? Because we'll have to just stop it again. So I don't know what you want to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could play the video for a couple more minutes because there's still a lot to go in this video.
Yeah,
so.
there's a lot. Yeah. Oh boy, is there. Okay.
I'm taking video of the building and conducting business with my government employees.
Okay.
And exercising my First Amendment right. To put it in those words, it's a First Amendment constitutional right to record, like free speech,
Yes.
freedom of religion.
Fair.
This is free press.
understand.
We have a right to hold our government accountable and
understand
show
what you're saying.
transparency within our government.
Correct.
Just to put it in those words. And I have a right to go in there and document all my interactions that I have. I want to do some public records in there. I want to file some public records. That's a public building.
Where's your public record? Where's your documents that you have to file there that allows? Because I'm
What are you talking about? I want to file public records on everybody's salary pay of that whole department that I'm going to. So I don't.
So let's
What
back
documents
up.
do
Let's
you?
So
I don't really have all day for this because
I've literally given you everything.
so you don't agree with what I'm saying.
That's not that I don't agree.
Okay.
It's not that I don't agree. What I'm telling you is that for you to enforce what you're trying to enforce, you're on the wrong side of the fence to do so.
No, you're wrong. You're misinformed.
Correct. I am not misinformed.
You're misinformed. Do I need permission to cuss in public?
No.
Okay, do I need permission to take video in public? Okay, it's a public building.
That's right. It is a public.
I'm a taxpayer. You're probably a taxpayer.
I'm absolutely not a taxpayer.
You're not?
Absolutely
Welfare
not.
recipient?
No, absolutely not.
So how do you pay
I have
taxes?
full faith and credit, incontestable guarantees under both arms, and I have a bag filled with seals.
Okay, that's you.
That's right.
The people that watch my videos, they're taxpayers.
You're on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know.
You should connect
Nah.
me. You should connect me.
Yeah, you should subscribe to my channel.
Okay, how about this? Why don't we subscribe to each other's channels?
You have a YouTube
Is that
channel?
fair? I do.
Okay.
It's called
What is it?
Starlit, Starlit, and the website.
Say it slowly for my people can.
Is this live? Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, is it live?
Yeah.
Really? Hi. Is it Facebook Live? Sweet.
Nah,
okay.
I have Facebook for my friends
Do
only.
you? Okay.
But
okay.
go ahead.
So my website is becomethemost.com, and what we essentially do is we help you take your name, turn it into intellectual property, liquidate all of your slavery bonds, so that you can have your inheritance, so that you can continue on about your life. Don't post this until I leave.
I'll post it right now.
You want to post it right now? Post it right now.
Why are you telling me when to post and not to post on my channel?
You see, here's the thing.
See, this
right?
is the thing. This is you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, we agree to disagree on certain things.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the thing, is that I've been doing this for quite some time now, so I don't use aggression because I don't have to. I use compliance.
Yeah.
Right. So most people, we will not comply. Hey, I get it. Enjoy your servitude on the plantation if you don't want to comply with the records that are designed to liberate you. You literally have been given two primary assets. You have a social security card, which is it's got the wrong name on it, and you have a certificate of live birth that should have a proper form name that is the correct name. That is the document that is considered gold, where you should be able to liquidate as a situs trust, put it into the records, and then have them give you your financial allotments, and this is when they become accountable. Until then, you are a trustee just right alongside of them. You're considered civilly tier more 2, civilly dead. Our YouTube is Starlit. We just came from doing an event in Oregon. We do live events. We do them throughout the year. And
very interesting. I want to know what my viewers got to say about everything you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll stand on everything.
Yeah, I kind of knew.
Baby.
I kind of knew before I walked in here that that was going to happen, because Lee County is the same thing. It's an unconstitutional rule from a judge. You know, we the people have a right to be in there and record and document everything that we have, you know, all the interactions we have with our government officials, and take video as a journalist, you know. And I kind of knew this. I just put it to a test pretty much. You know what I mean? But I'm not surprised that you know what I mean?
A constitution, if you look up the word look this up. Completely constituted trust. Okay, if you look up completely constituted trust, you will find that all of the property has to be transferred over to the trustee, which is the recipe that I just gave you. Go get your certificate, bring it in here, and transfer it over to the trustee, and then you will find that the adversaries and the enemies that you previously had a week ago that are here now become your allies.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Cupcake Happy Dance. All right. Okay. Ole. All right.
Thank you. She's watching. You were just a minute early, but that's okay. She's probably watching anyway. Well, I'm sure she's watching. If she's here at 5:20, 7:20 or 8:20, I'm sure she's here at 19 after.
Yeah, right. But so anyway, before we get back to the video, getting back to like what just happened and what's coming up next is she's literally trying to convince him. Miranda's here. I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing, Miranda? Great to see you. All right. You know what? I'm going to throw a happy dance for Miranda because it's been so long. All right. Welcome.
All right.
Yes.
Hi, Nightman's wife. Good morning, Nightman's wife.
Nightman's wife is here. What's up? Woohoo. But yeah, it's crazy because what she's saying and what she's about to say is, and this is one of the things about the whole sovereign citizen ideal that blows my mind, is that they believe this. And she's about to tell a story that supposedly is a true story that as soon as you take your piece of paper and your crayon and you write on it, I am no longer subject to your laws, and then go hand that to somebody in City Hall, just the fact that you did that makes it that, and she's going to tell the story in a minute, like, it makes it that if you're walking down the street and I don't know, you rob a bank and then a bunch of cops show up and you say, hey, I filed those papers, and they realize you're the one who filed the papers, they'll put their guns down and say, oh, you're one of those people. Go ahead, do what you want. You're fine. You don't have to follow any laws.
I know. I don't get that. Like, why they think that's all they have to do is do that. And then they could do anything they want. Like you said, go rob a bank. And then as soon as they find that out, they're all like, yeah, it's cool. You're cool. Let's take a selfie together. You know,
right.
Bag of money you just stole. It's like, you know, no.
Yep.
Oh, there she is. Hey.
Ole, all right.
Hey.
Yes,
Hi.
yes.
Hope you're doing okay.
All right. But yeah, she's literally about to tell a story that's supposedly a true story about almost literally that, like, she doesn't say what happened that the cops came, but when they realized who she was, she's the person who's not a citizen anymore, they left her alone. Like, really?
Yeah, we won't tell all of it in case somebody hasn't seen it, but there's some things that she says. Hi, Josiah, that I just don't believe. You can't believe it. It's so far-fetched that there's no way anybody would believe that. If he believes it, then I have some bridges to sell him. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
and that's the thing, like, one of the things with these, they think they found a loophole to avoid responsibility for their actions. Exactly. But I honestly believe that the majority of sovereign citizen gurus are just grifters, because not only are they trying to sell you on this idea, what's up, Katie said, not only are they trying to sell you an idea, but literally they're trying to sell you the fake paperwork that you have to pay. And I've shown some of the prices they charge on some of these websites, hundreds of dollars for a piece of paper. Yeah. And then they tell you, hey,
pieces of paper that, I mean, come on, that it's literally selling you fraudulent crap that is no good.
Yep.
For what amounts to the last of some people's money, because they're so desperate for anything, you know, to help them out in their situation, that they just
go to my website to buy the documents you need to make yourself not, because she keeps talking about, I have all the documents in my bag, right? It's like, here, for $500, I'll give you a piece of paper, you sign it and then send it in, and that means that you don't have to follow any laws anymore. Sure, I don't care. I'm counting my money while you're sitting there getting arrested.
Can't understand how anybody would think that this works. If it worked, why wouldn't we all be doing that? Why wouldn't we all be like, yeah, you have no control over me. I absolve myself. I send in all my stuff. I no longer am a member of your society where I have to follow your rules. Why wouldn't we all be doing that?
Why wouldn't literally everybody cash in their Social Security card money and be a billionaire?
Right. Exactly. Why wouldn't we all be doing all of these things that they're saying?
Because they're not real.
Right. We'd all be going, hey, I'm traveling, not driving. And the cops would be like, ah, cool. See you later.
Right. Exactly. And again, that specifically goes back to my argument that I always make. If they're 100% correct that all of these driver's license requirements, for example, are unconstitutional, and the Supreme Court has already made the determination that they're unconstitutional, how is it that all 50 states still have driver's license rules and not one member of the government, the federal government, ever noticed?
Right.
They have no idea that that's going on out there?
I guess only a select few people get to know that they made it unconstitutional, that we don't have to have driver's licenses unless we're in commerce.
I love to use this example, just not to get into, that debate, but just because it's the most recent example. When they overturned Roe v. Wade, right? Everybody knew about it. states
Yeah.
immediately had to start changing their rules and regulations because it overturned
everybody was waiting in anticipation of the ruling. It was even
Right.
before the ruling, everybody was like,
What are they
come
going to
on
say?
now.
What?
What are you
Right.
saying about it? You know, so I'd imagine the same thing would be for driver's licenses.
Right. So we're supposed to believe that the Supreme Court made a decision that literally affects everybody in the entire country, and nobody knows about it except for this handful of a couple hundred soft sets.
Yeah. So I'm saying, why
How did
wouldn't we all be doing it?
Right. Oh, man.
They're the only ones that get to know about it. There's a super secret underground network that only a few people, if you're super secret special, get to know about. So,
Right.
yeah, that's why we see it working out for them so well when they get pulled over.
Yeah. They end up getting their windows smashed or getting tased or both. That's how useful your pointless documents are. Anyway, let's get back to it and watch. Like I said, this example she's about to give to Joey. I don't believe this story for a second, but let's see what happens.
And they will literally put a bubble of, listen, I've been surrounded, and I'm telling you, in the state of Florida, I have been surrounded by sheriffs and some shit where they should have fucking smoked me like a motherfucking turkey, okay? You can beep that out, you can leave it, I don't give a fuck, right? And I'm serious. I have been surrounded, and when they checked the records and they saw that I had entered my name in their book of life, they stood behind me like this, I swear to God. They stood behind me like this and said, we stand with you, and they surrounded me in a circle. That is a constitutional provision of civilian control of the military. The Constitution of this state, as well as I think 46 other states in this country, plainly state that military is subordinate to civil power. They are military. They have badges. They got the whole military thing going on. They do all this shit, so you know that they're
but the ones that act like that, what do you think about that?
I think that there's.
Did you see what happened in there?
I did not. I came out during the confrontation.
Just because I had a camera immediately pushed me in my back. Like,
and
you can't put your hands on me.
And that is absolutely a fine line, and you have every right to be upset about that.
Of course, you can't touch people. He doesn't have authority over me.
They are enforcing an agreement or a lack of an agreement.
What about the oath they sworn oath to the Constitution?
That's right.
What about that?
Where is your participation in the Constitution? Where is your part of the completely constituted trust that you are supposed
Exactly what I'm doing.
No, this is not it. You have to understand. We're talking about agreements and contracts, right? We're talking about agreements and contracts. Where is your agreement? Because if you don't have one with them, they don't owe you shit.
They don't have to owe us nothing. Yes, they got to respect our rights.
They absolutely owe you everything, including all. They owe you your rights, titles, profits, proceeds. And
freedom is supposed to be freedom.
That's right.
They're supposed to respect our freedom. That's just that simple.
Says that the Constitution
that simple.
That you are not supposed to buy your freedom. However,
or ask permission.
You have a
I don't
duty
need that.
Also, you have a duty also to listen. They gave you an
Well, this is becoming like a communist country. You know?
Well, I cannot disagree.
Straight up, I do this for a living. I know what I'm doing, and I run into clowns like that all the time. And I don't. I run into good cops a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And I can't disagree with you being upset over mistreatment because you're correct.
Now I got to file complaints and all that bull crap.
If you file a complaint,
I have it all on video.
File it as civil, it's here more to civilly dead. And when you do that, it's going to work against you. Now, if you come in from the civil power and you're dealing with military, you will quickly find so let me say this. When you spoke to this officer here and you said, officer, I'm going to go ahead and invoke your constitutional provision of military being subordinate to civil power. I'm a civilian. Please don't put your hands on me. You would have gotten instantly the change that you were looking for, probably an apology, and maybe even an escort and a man-to-man conversation.
I'm learning something new every day with this.
Of course. Listen,
I'm glad you're talking. I'm glad you're talking like that.
12 years of this game playing. These people have beat the brakes off of me, and they have also saved me. And I'm telling you, because I know how to play the game, and I learned how to play the game. I had to learn. And I started off pissed off, like, you motherfuckers, how could you? And you know who taught me?
Yeah.
Who taught me? Harvard graduate judges, police, clerks, state troopers, all of the same people that you're like, you guys suck, and blah, 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 and all these new clowns and this and that. Those are the people that taught me. So when you go over the replay, he probably gave you instructions in his own variation of English that you went over your head. Because he said, he was like, I told you, and you didn't hear me. You don't want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
So having said all of that, thank you for letting me touch your biceps. You're a very good looking man. I gotta go.
I don't know about all that.
He's handsome.
Of all of the crazy that she just vomited into the world, calling him good looking was probably the craziest. Yeah, he goes to file the complaint, but I really don't care. There's nothing that is going to top this. The rest of it is boring. That was absolutely amazing. The confusion was so real. It was like a train wreck. You can't not watch it. You really can't. You can't not watch it. It's like when Dumb and Dumber meet. Worlds collide. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see, and I will catch you on the next one.
Oh, man. That's classic. That has got to become a classic clip going forward because, oh, man. And he, all the way through everything she said, he still had no idea what she was talking about, and she had no idea what he was talking about.
She really didn't let him speak, to be fair. She really didn't. So that was good. You didn't have much.
Yeah, right.
Well, really, yeah, it was disgusting. Like, she called him good looking. It was like,
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, man. Well, no accounting for taste when you're talking about a soft set, right?
I guess beauty really is in the eye of the beholder, but I yeah.
But seriously though, like, it's weird, like trying to intellectually break down the argument of a soft set. But I've heard it so many times that I know it inside and out, just like I know the Frauditor side as well. And it's like, basically, when she started getting into the like cashing in your social security number and all that, Joey looks like all the meth addicts in my area. The gray sunken eyes is a dead giveaway. Yeah, well, yeah, that kid is something else, that's for sure.
Wouldn't he be a lot thinner if he was on meth?
I don't know.
He's not that thin.
With him specifically, you know, and I've said this before. I try to, whenever I talk about these guys, I try to have fun with it, and you know, I'll make fun of them all day and call them every name in the book when it comes to their frauditing itself. But especially because, if I remember correctly, I think his brother passed from a drug overdose. So I don't want to go there with him, you know.
Yeah, I don't go on physical appearance either and stuff, but
yeah.
Honestly, I don't think he is either, Donna Ray, because he doesn't physically give out the appearance to me.
Yeah.
He's on something, but I don't think it's enough.
He's on the stupid train. Oh man. But yeah, I actually talked to him once and he was like, oh, you know what? I think you're cool. I'm going to unblock you from my channel. And then like the next day I was in one of his lives and is Joey invited to Audit Palooza? Oh, I'm sure he is. You know, John Felix will invite anyone that'll give him $100.
Yeah.
You're dumb enough to give me $100. Let's go.
I don't think that the creators, the frauditors have to pay. It's people like the subs that have to pay $100. People he's inviting, the content creators, the frauditors don't have to pay.
Oh, well, if that's true, then, oh, man, even more of a reason to go and cover it live stream it on this channel. Oh, if that actually happens, it'll be so wonderful. Some of the best content, the best live stream of all time.
So what do you think happened after the camera got turned off between those two?
Well, I think that was it. Like from what Lucid Dream was saying, the video keeps going after that. She leaves and then he goes and files a complaint.
Right, but
he probably checked out her channel and she checked out his. Like hooked up?
You're gonna develop a friendship? Like
well, you never know, you know. I mean,
I did notice there was a guy hanging around in the background there.
Yeah.
Like just hanging around listening to her. And then I thought maybe that's her husband or something, but I don't know.
Well, she was flirting, but that could have been part of her sales tactic, you know?
Yeah. She was flirting. And I'm like, you got to be reaching, lady, if you're saying he's handsome. Because his attitude alone would put me off, man. Actually,
Seriously, like I would think he would be like on the scale of attractiveness, he's like compared to her, like way lower.
right? Because like to me, it's about the attitude. It's about how you
Yes. Personality,
treat
attitude. Yep.
people. And none of these frauditors, they could be coming walking right out of GQ magazine. All right, they are not going to be attractive to me because of how they treat people.
Yep. Attitude goes a long
Yeah.
way.
They're
Personality,
always
all
going
that.
to be
Yes.
ugly to me because of that. So
yeah, but
just
so I'm thinking about though, like she's trying to, like, again, because I do understand, again, obviously I don't agree with either of them, but I understand the arguments from both points, and she's basically trying to tell him, look, as long as you're there trying to film to fight their rules and regulations, you are accepting their rules and regulations, which is keeping you in their system,
which is we're all supposed to be in their system. So
Right.
I mean, that's actually where he's supposed to be. He's just not doing things.
He's doing it wrong.
Done. Yeah. So she's the one that's actually operating outside of the norm,
Right.
So if he didn't understand what she was saying, I don't believe it's because he's stupid. It's because
Well, yeah, she's spouting sovereign citizen nonsense. Exactly.
right, anybody would look at her like, huh?
Right.
So,
Like, what are you talking about, lady?
right.
It'd be interesting though if ultimately like he starts going more and more down that road, and like it
Then
turns
we'll
out that
know.
she convinced him.
Then we'll know that they talked outside of that conversation.
Right.
That'll be the tell, because he's definitely not a sovereign citizen.
Right. He's just a random butterbrain douche canoe that likes to fraud at people for money. Yep.
The Luke and Laura of 2024. I like that. Do you know who Luke and Laura are?
From some show or movie or something.
Soap opera.
Oh, it's a
Yeah, Luke and Laura.
Okay.
Which one was it?
I don't know. The only soap opera I
General
watch is
Hospital?
pro wrestling.
Was it
General
General
Hospital?
Hospital? Because Hope and Bo and Hope were from Days of Our Lives.
That
So
I
Luke
would have
and Laura
known. Yeah.
General Hospital. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we're not going to get on that. That's a whole other thing. But we'll see if he continues with the sovereign citizen nonsense. Then we know, because he's not a sovereign citizen. General Hospital. Thank you. Yeah, General Hospital. Boy, does that bring back memories. Watching that when I was a kid, I was homesick.
Yes. That was it. Like, I was never really into soap operas, but I did see Days of Our Lives. That's why I would have known, the Bo and Hope thing when he came back with the eye patch and all that. But it was exactly like what you're saying. Like those days when you're home and there's nothing on TV except for soap operas. It's like, oh well, I'll watch this.
Price is Right and all that, and soap operas and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're too old to watch Sesame Street and all that anymore. So
right.
Watch that instead. Yeah. Oof, that brings back memories. Anyway.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be watching this dude, and I keep watching him anyway to see when he's gonna go cop watching and figure out that he can't stand where he wants to anymore.
Right.
When does that law go into effect in Florida? Is it already in effect, or?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked that up since it got passed. Let me see.
I think in Louisiana, it doesn't go into effect until I think August or something.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Can you take a video?
Is it August? Thank you, Donna.
Oh, August. Okay.
For Louisiana. I'm not sure about Florida.
Oh, for Florida?
Yeah.
Um,
Young and the Restless is still going. Get out.
Wiretapping audio recording of communications or taking video of others is illegal for person. Yeah, but it doesn't say when. I mean, there's some. I don't know. I'd have to look that up to find exactly where.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll look it up later, but yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
Wait, I can't, it's going to be funny if he tries to, but he hasn't had any run-ins with the cops, so I don't know. He's going to.
What's going to happen with that? Yeah.
Waiting for him till to do that.
Indeed. So, where do you want to go next? I see Regan Benson down there.
That's Frauditor Troll has the video on them going to the town hall meeting where that lady spoke up and asked them to stop acknowledging those two.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because the two members of the board were on Frauditor Troll's channel. So now they're there to complain about, oh, how dare you do that? Go on Frauditor Troll to talk about us. It's like.
But there was a lady, I think, who spoke before them and asked the board to stop acknowledging them, stop talking and stop, because it's basically like giving into a child with a tantrum. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So.
And then there's one of the things when it's always smoother actually when Ray uploads the videos for me, so I don't have to bounce it back and forth between the tabs. But then I see different thumbnails than she does. So what are the other two?
I named them. If you could see that I've named them. What?
Oh, right. But I mean, one's from NCR, and one's from Takedown. But
yeah, Takedown is. Geez Louise, what was that one? I'm not remembering now what they are. NCR's is from Australia, where there's a Australian Frauditor who gets just passed from a library. Takedowns is no, it's not the guy harassing the cop. It's he's doing that in the live stream today too. Let me see. I can go refresh my memory really quick.
Well, you know what? We got enough fans. We got enough fans from Australia. Why don't we go with the Australian one for now?
All right, hold on. Now you got me. I gotta look at this.
You're like, no, now I have to know what it was. It, dang it. In the meantime,
it's all right. Yeah, no. He did a video a while ago where a cop was patrolling an area and was after business hours, and he saw somebody in the back of a row of businesses. So he stopped the guy. And of course, the guy was like, I don't have to give you ID. I don't have to do anything, blah, blah, blah. So he arrested the guy for not IDing, for obstruction. And now the guy went to, somebody else, I think, went on his behalf to a town hall meeting and complained that the guy lost his business and he's, blah, blah, blah. And the guy ended up coming in and they got removed from the town hall meeting.
Okay.
The funny thing is he's wearing a shirt from the business he swears that he lost.
Oh.
So we're going to be calling up later, and the phone number is right on the shirt. So we're going to be calling and figuring out if he actually did lose the business or not. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Oh, so we got 2 town hall meetings and an Aussie Frauditor and a library to choose from. What do you guys think? What do you prefer? One of the town hall meetings or the Australian library? So if you want to watch the library, just put library. If you want to watch one of the town hall meetings, put town hall.
Put a 1 in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Frauditors are butterbrain douche canoes. I better see a lot of 1s.
Put a 1 in the chat, crap. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is,
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm actually having a lot of fun with this right now. This is great.
Yeah, they are butterbrain douche canoes. There's a lot of 1s in the chat.
Yes.
It's official. Yeah. Well, like that 42, which is the number for everything. 42.
Do 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 do. All right.
And if Frauditors are butterbrain douche canoes, you must put a 1 in the chat if you think they are butterbrain douche canoes. That's according to Hez. He says put a 1 in the chat.
Yeah. Now, if you think they're potato brain douche canoes, put whatever she wants because she likes that one. Or don't say anything.
Library in honor of Ray. All right, we'll do that.
Perfect. All right.
We'll do that. So this is NCR with an Australian person getting removed from a library.
Yes.
Hi folks, today we're going to make a trip down under to Australia where we run into Collaborative Observation, a Australian-based frauditor who thinks he can do what he wants but is grossly misinformed. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I want to personally thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the page, leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm, and if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, let's...
We allow videoing or photos in here without permission, so don't mind if you take a quick snap of things, but please don't take anything with people in it, otherwise we do have laws that counsel against that for people's privacy.
It's a public building, isn't it?
Yeah, but still, people's privacy.
I'm actually a journalist and I'm doing a story on the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video, and just remember, anyone who calls himself a journalist is a
Okay.
So it's a publicly owned building.
It's just part of the council terms and conditions of entering the property, so if we could just request that you don't video people in here, breaching their privacy.
I'm not going to engage with anyone.
Because we've got children in here.
Yeah, definitely. I won't. The children, yeah. Thank you. What's this, Justice of the Peace? What is Justice of the Peace?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like a judge or? Sorry?
Sign legal documents. Are you recording?
I am. I'm just...
Can you delete me, please?
Oh, why? You don't want to be on video?
I don't want to be recorded on any private phone.
Oh.
Well, seeing how we're in Australia, some of the stuff may not make sense to us, but I did get help translating a lot of this stuff. You see, a Justice of the Peace is no different than a notary. See, he's there to help people get their documents in order, and it's a volunteer position. He's not paid by the government. He is there to help people get their documents in order, notarized, stuff like wills, trusts, signed contracts, stuff like that. But this guy is still trying to violate his rights and his privacy, due to the fact that he feels he's copied enough American frauditors to do so.
Oh, you're in public.
Excuse me, I'm going to have to ask you to leave because this is just getting really disruptive to our customers and people who work here.
This is a public building.
Okay.
Hello, I'm just going to go taking a few pictures.
No, you can't.
Why?
You can't take pictures of anybody.
Why?
Because it's illegal.
It's illegal?
Yeah.
Yes!
She's right. Technically, what he's doing is illegal. Under the Privacy Act of 1988, which is the Australian principal legislation that governs the protections of private information of individuals, but it goes further than that. It goes about how it can be stored, collected, disclosed, and used, not only by the federal public sector, but the private sector. Meaning, if he wants to take video and photo of these people in this public place, he still needs to get their consent and a disclosure agreement to put it up on a website such as YouTube for monetary gain. If he does...
What law is that? What law is that? Privacy in public?
Have you grabbed that phone right now?
No, that would be assault. Do you work here? Who are you?
It doesn't matter. You got people on the camera that don't want to be on the camera.
In public?
Doesn't matter.
Why? So if I go to Disneyland and take a
Human
picture,
rights, mate.
that's my human right to record in public. What
No,
are you
it's
talking-
not. Human rights.
It's the Human Rights Charter says it.
Wrong!
It's audio book. What's she saying that I can't record in here?
Do not film the kids. It's best if you just go.
Why?
It is best if you just leave.
But it's a public building.
It is a public building, but do not film me. Do not film the kids. Do not film the JP. Do not film staff.
Why?
It's time to go.
Why?
It's time to leave.
That's not right. That's my right. I didn't film the
Room
children.
full of children. Please leave.
I didn't film the
It's time to
children.
leave.
You're violating my rights. You're
I'm not
incorrect.
violating any
You
of
are.
your rights. It's time
The
to go.
Human Rights Charter says I can record in public. This is a public building.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans here because this guy is so wrong. You see, in Australia, the Human Rights Charter does not apply here because it has not been ratified through Parliament yet. Therefore, he can argue that he has these rights covered under the Human Rights Charter, but unless it is passed through the Parliament of Australia and gone through the proper legislative channels, that charter does not apply here. No different than another country's constitution would apply to us here in the States.
Not a right.
Of course it
That
is.
is not a right.
To record in public.
Please leave the land.
No, I'm not leaving. You're incorrect.
Do not film the kids.
I didn't film the kids. I'm a journalist.
You're not even a real journalism. That's right.
You're a journalist and go journal outside.
Why? I'm doing it on the building. Sorry? Not sorry. I can't believe you're saying this. No, I'm not going. You need to get educated. You need to get educated. Yeah. So is that a law that I can't record in public? Is that a law that I can't record?
Do not film.
Is that a law that I can't film you? Why? Is that a law? I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying, please leave the land.
Why?
Because you're filming us without our permission.
You don't need permission in public, though.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
Even though he is correct, he could film in a public place, like a park or outside on the sidewalks. When he enters a building, such as this library, he would need the permission of the people that he's filming, the people that he's interacting with, because he's putting it on YouTube for monetary gain. Therefore, he needs their consent. And without their consent and of him using it, it could leave him in legal trouble that he may not be able to get out.
If I go to Disneyland and take a picture of my kids, do I have to get permission from the 4,000 people behind? You don't look at YouTube and Facebook, all the pictures in public and the videos. And there's people in public, but you don't need permission in public. I don't know what you're saying. It's just false. Isn't it? Like, I'm a journalist, I'm doing a story on the building. It's a public building, I'm allowed to do it. If you tell me it's a law or something, I've never seen a law that you can't film in public. There's no signs on the door saying no recording. They're just gonna ignore me now. Excuse me, did you take a picture of me before?
Beg your pardon?
Did you take a picture of me before?
Why would I take a picture?
I seen you pointing your phone at me. You didn't?
Not for you.
Did you take a picture of me?
No, why would I take a picture of you?
Just if you did, because are you a public servant? You work here? Just if you did, you made a public record? You made a public record because you're on duty as a public servant.
I think this bloke's watched one too many American fraud videos because he keeps using the same lingo that frauditors use here. Did you take a photo of me? Did you make a public record? You're a public servant. I'm going to request that. All the same stuff that our frauditors use are being used over there. I think he might be a bit hungry and a bit confused. Maybe he might want to go down to Hungry Jack and pick him up a sandwich.
What am I doing?
You made a public record when you took a picture of me. So
I didn't take a picture of
Okay,
you.
it looked like it. I'm just telling you I'm going to request that picture. So just don't delete it because it's a crime if you delete it.
Okay. Whatever.
Do you know why she's telling me that I can't record in here and the other lady?
Because it's
Can I speak to the man? Yep, go ahead.
policies in terms of condition of entry.
There's no signs on the door. Can I speak to a manager, please?
You already have.
Who? Who's the manager? She's. Can I speak to a manager, please?
You were speaking to Lara. She's on the phone to the police at the moment.
Oh my God. What did I do? I did something wrong. I'm sorry.
Hi, folks. Today, we're going to make a trip down under
what the hell?
Gone through the proper...
What happened? Ah, crap. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry,
I don't
guys. It's
know.
live.
You must have hit the button and it pushed it back to the beginning. Now I got to figure out where we were.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's live, people. Mistakes have been made. It happens. But anyway, just in general, I still don't understand. And maybe, like, what's your theory on this? The whole concept of auditing a library at all in the first place. Like, where does that come from? Just because it's an easy target?
I don't know. A lot of them assume that they're like actual government workers. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
the concept of being a government worker means like you work for the government, you know, like you work for an elected official or you work for, you know, or you are an elected official, something like that. But in reality, most libraries fall under like a board. They work for a board or like they fall under the school system or something like that in these districts. It's not, I don't know how it works in Australia though. That's the thing. I can't speak for there. I can't, you know.
right.
So if they're government workers or not, I don't know. But strictly like people that work in libraries are not government workers in the truest sense of the word. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah, but so I mean, even if they are,
auditing them is not. It shouldn't be a thing.
Right. And like, even if they are government workers, like, what are they holding them accountable for? Whether or not they put the books in alphabetical order? Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the corruption that they're uncovering from a library?
You think that's all that librarians do? Is put books back?
No, I'm saying, what are these guys?
You need to educate yourself, Hez.
I didn't mean it like that. I was being sarcastic. Like, what are they uncovering? What's the big deal that the librarians give people library cards and help people find books? Like not that that's all librarians do, but what is this big government conspiracy and horrible stuff that they're trying to uncover by going to a library?
Ask them. I don't know. All we do is put books on a shelf, so and give
No,
out.
I didn't. I'm not trying to insult librarians. I was being sarcastic, making fun of why they would choose a library as their target.
Ask them. I don't know.
I apologize.
To answer it. I don't know.
The problem is when you ask them, it's like talking to a brick wall. That's why I don't talk to them anymore, because they just, because I have the right to film. Okay, but why a library? It's the same thing like when they go to a private business. Well, I have the right to film in McDonald's. Okay, but why?
Joe,
because
they are not. I'm a librarian and I've worked in public libraries. They're not government workers.
Yep. I don't know. Frauditor's gonna fraud it.
You're gonna tell me that a part-time person who does put books on a shelf, because I mean it's not a librarian but works part-time from high school, is a government worker? No, they are not. They're not government workers.
Right. Well, I guess the what I think my theory on part of it is I've noticed, and we've talked about this before too. A lot of these guys, if it says public, they automatically think, oh, that means it's a government facility. It's a public place. It's like public library. Just like when we saw the guy who went to a public defender's office and just walked in there because, well, it says public on the window, public defender. It's but it's a private office.
Government, or that it's necessarily open to the public. It's not just because you see the word public doesn't mean that it is.
Right.
The libraries are not funded by public tax dollars usually. So you got to learn, do your research before you automatically assume that things are automatically funded by public tax dollars. Not everything is. I mean, how much taxes do you think the public pays? Right. A lot of that's funded through property
donations and tax.
Yeah. So how much property tax do you really pay? And a lot of people don't even own houses in certain areas that public libraries are in. So, I mean, how much do you think can really get funded to a local library?
Right.
A lot of that comes through grants and donations and things of that nature that a public library is funded on.
Yeah, that's true.
Do research. It pays to actually do your goddamn research before you talk about stuff that you have no idea what you're talking about.
And that also goes back to the argument I always make. These independent journalists say, how come you can't take us serious as a journalist? We have freedom of the press. Well, because a journalist engages in some form of journalism, which would include research.
They engage in some form of research before they go spouting off at the mouth, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, they think Walmart is government, just like they think that postal employees are government. A simple Google search will tell you they are not government employees. They are not paid through the government.
That's it's so ridiculous that so many of their arguments and so much of this stuff. But again, like you say, since this is someone in Australia, we don't know exactly how it works out there.
I don't know how it works there. They might be paid through the government there. I'm not entirely sure. Here, I mean, you're part of the school system generally if you're a public library, and last to be paid. If there are tax dollars to come your way, you're the last to get any of it. So you're relying solely on grants and public, donations, things of that nature. So most libraries get nothing out of tax dollars.
Right. But
again, come first. I mean,
yes.
Obviously, schools are going to come first. And generally, there's nothing left after that. I mean, usually, I know in the state of Illinois, there isn't. The one public library I worked in, they were 4 years behind giving them any money from the state. So, yeah.
Yeah. But again, my whole beef is just the whole concept of auditing a library at all in general seems so pointless to me because, again, it's a library. What's the big government corruption?
Order, and make sure we put your name right on your library card because that's all we do.
No, I'm not downplaying librarians. I'm saying, where's the government conspiracy that they're uncovering by going to a library? What's the big government stuff that they're doing that they're trying to hide that these guys need to uncover by filming them?
Don't know. Cliff lives in Australia. He says local government runs the libraries there. So yeah, they work for the government there.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for answering that, Cliff. Appreciate that. So now we know how it runs in Australia.
Cool. So what are they proving by auditing them against?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to cause the same bullshit they cause here.
Of course.
Views. Clicks and views.
Yep.
I mean, what else could it be? Librarians don't do anything.
No. No. Damn it. Like I said, it isn't just the libraries. It just seems to me like so many of the things that they do, like the police, like cop watching in general as a concept, I get that. A city hall, even a courthouse. Again, I might not agree with it or whatever, but conceptually, I understand choosing those places as targets. But why a library? Why a post office? Why? Well, because they're government workers. Okay, but what's the big, huge thing that they're doing that you have to go in there and uncover and investigate? Like,
No, Nightman's wife. They never sent us to those. There wasn't any money to send us to conventions. Yeah, easy target's what they think. Not exactly easy target, because they assume librarians are just a bunch of old ladies putting books on shelves.
Well, they're definitely not sitting there trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to violate our customers' rights today? If somebody comes in and asks for a book or to use a computer, how can we violate their rights? Let's see.
We can't violate their rights because we're not the government. They were never the government. They're not the government.
Exactly.
But the librarians don't sit around thinking, how can they violate anybody's rights? Librarians have a set of ethics that they have to also follow. You are taught, and it's driven into you in your programs all through your college. That is driven into you, a set of ethics that you have to follow.
Right.
That you must follow.
Right,
So
but when anybody
no
mentions
that you're violating anybody's rights, in fact, their rights are always in the forefront of your mind. Mainly their privacy.
Bingo!
And the right to come into the library and operate as a patron with their privacy in mind. And that is why it's a limited public forum, which I know a lot of them don't understand, with the time, place, and manner restrictions in place that they don't understand. The limited public forums are a part of the First Amendment, just like non-public forums are, and not being able to record. First Amendment is not black and white like they like to think it is. Doesn't mean you can stick a camera in your hand and go wherever you want. There are restrictions. And a library is going to be one of those places where you can't just walk in and do whatever you want. There's a limited set of things that you could do in a library. And if filming is not on that list, then you can't do that. Because in a library, the patron's privacy is first and foremost in everybody's mind. They want everybody to come in a library and feel comfortable enough to use the library for what they want to use it for.
Yep.
And if you can't come in there and ask for a book that you're uncomfortable asking for, like say your child just came out to you and you have no understanding of what it means to be a homosexual or gay or whatever, and you come in and ask for a book, very quietly ask for that book, but somebody's standing there in your face with a camera and can record everything that you're saying and pick up everything that you're saying, are you going to want to come in there and look for that book? No.
Yep. And especially if it's a frauditor.
Right. They're violating their rights to privacy then at that point.
Yep.
Which they have every right to expect when they walk into that library. It's a matter of what they expect when they walk into that library, which is they have a right to expect some sort of privacy in there.
Yep.
So the library has an obligation to give it. That's why it's a limited public forum. They don't understand that, though. They refuse to understand that there is that doctrine in place, that is a part of the First Amendment.
Yep.
Because the First Amendment is not a black and white document that, this gives me the right, free press gives me the right to put this camera in my hand and go anywhere I want and be a complete and total asshole. It's not that at all.
Right. That's like I used to always say, like I used to do, if you remember, I used to do my daily reading of the First Amendment. And I'd always say, the First Amendment Constitution. What does the First Amendment say? If you're holding a camera, you can do whatever you want with no consequences. The end. Like, no, that's not what it says.
There's no library that's ever going to let you look at porn.
Yeah, no, that's probably.
No,
but
and I don't know why he is on about that. That's disgusting. I don't know why he's on about that.
Yeah.
There's rules in the library about what you can and can't do on their computers. They're never going to
allow that.
Yeah. because there's children in libraries and they aren't going to want to walk, have children walking past looking at that stuff. That's no.
Yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
regular people, other patrons don't want to walk past and look at what you're looking at. That's never going to be a thing.
Nope.
And it's already been ruled on and discussed, and it's not a violation of your First Amendment right to say you cannot look at certain things on the library's property, which is their computers. They can set
Right.
the rules of that in advance, and you have to agree to them, or you don't use their computers.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, it's just the end
That's
of
true.
it.
There's a lot to it when it comes to that. But the one point that you kind of alluded to a little bit there that I wanted to expand on a little bit is, and again, not just with libraries, but with so many of the places that frauditors go, the idea of business, right? Because they always say, well, me filming is my business. But it's like the reason why, whether it's a library or a DMV or a post office, the reason why those buildings exist, the reason why they lay brick and mortar at all is because there's certain things that you're there to do. If you're not there to do one of those things, then you have no legitimate business there. Well, me filming is my business. But that's not what this building is for.
That's not what they intended it for. That's why it's a limited public forum, because you're not using it in the intended manner. There's a limited amount of things you can do in that building. Recording is not on that list.
Right.
DMV is, you come to get a driver's license, you come to get license plate stickers, you come to get registration, you come to do whatever's on the list in that building for you to do. Filming isn't on that list. You can't come in there and do it. And there's a reason why.
Yep.
They just want to be obtuse about the reasons why.
Yeah.
And to fight so hard to record in those places makes the person wonder, why do you want to record their personal information? Oh, I'm not recording it. No, but your camera's picking it up. If somebody says their social security number, your camera's picking it up. Why do you want it so bad? Why are you fighting so bad? It's like the ones that go to schools. They want to record children.
Yep.
The little asshole that went to the WIC office and said he doesn't care about recording children. What kind of pervert are you that you want to record children?
Exactly.
Excuse me for one moment.
No, well, that's all right. On that note, it's time to get back to the video anyway.
Excuse me, did you take a picture of me before?
Beg your pardon?
Did you take a picture of me before?
Why would I take a picture?
I seen you pointing your phone at me. You didn't?
Not for you.
Did you take a picture of me?
No, why would I take a picture of you?
Just if you did, because are you a public servant? You work here? Just if you did, you made a public record? You made a public record because you're on duty as a public servant?
I think this bloke's watched one too many American videos because he keeps using the same lingo that frauditors use here. Did you take a photo of me? Did you make a public record? You're a public servant. I'm going to request that. All the same stuff that our frauditors use are being used over there. I think he might be a bit hungry and a bit confused. Maybe he might want to go down to Hungry Jack and pick him up a sandwich.
What am I doing?
You made a public record when you took a picture of me. So I'm just...
Take a picture of
Okay, it looked like it. I'm just telling you I'm going to request that picture. So just don't delete it, because it's a crime if you delete it.
Okay. Whatever.
Do you know why she's telling me that I can't record in here? And the other lady?
Because it's part
Can I
of
speak to the man? Yep, go ahead.
policies. In terms of condition of entry.
There's no signs on the door. Can I speak to a manager, please?
You already have.
Who? Who's the manager? She's. Can I speak to a manager, please?
You were speaking to Lara. She's on the phone to the police at the moment. She is the manager.
I'm just going to wait out there until I can speak to the manager, okay? Because this is ridiculous. He's trying to violate my rights. It's a public space. I'm allowed to record. I don't know why you think it's funny, you know? Like you're discriminating against my rights.
And yet again, this guy is wrong. You see, the Australian Constitution only covers 5 key points of protection. The freedom to vote, the freedom to travel without being discriminated against, the freedom to have a fair, just trial by jury, the freedom of religion and the freedom to make sure if the government takes your property, you receive equal compensation or value to that property, similar to eminent domain here in the States.
Hello. Hey, mate.
Good, thank you.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
You got some ID, mate? My name's Sergeant Fogg from Quanah Waters Police. You got some identification on
I do, but I haven't done anything wrong. I don't think I have to give
Well, you
it.
have, mate. We're just taking a complaint where you were asked to leave and you didn't.
Well, they asked me to stop recording.
Yep, we
and
asked
I'm
to
a
leave
journalist. I'm a journalist.
Yep, I didn't ask you what you are. I'm asking you for some ID because we're investigating an offence, okay? So you got some identification.
So what will happen if I don't give you my ID?
Mate, if you don't give me your ID, my name's Sergeant Fogg. I'm now giving you a lawful direction.
Yep.
You to provide me with your full and correct details, being your name and current address. If you don't do so, you commit an offence which you'll be arrested for.
I will be arrested? I think I don't want to be arrested.
Mate, can I get you to put your phone in your pocket?
I'd rather record this for my
Mate,
own
we're
safety.
recording.
No, I want to.
I don't know if that's a taser. Put it in your pocket or I'll take it off you. Put it in your pocket or I'll take it.
Now, the officer is correct. He could have a taser. There are some tasers designed to look like smartphones or umbrellas, flashlights, other objects that would people think they don't have something to protect themselves with. And if the officer's concerned about its safety, he's probably ran across something like it before. Now, he is still allowing him to
take it off you. Put it in your pocket or I'll take it off you. You can have the sound. You can have the sound. Just put it in your pocket.
Can I have just your name and badge number before I do, please?
Sergeant Jason Fogg. My registered number is 26076 and I'm attached to Quanah Waters Police.
Thank you. And yours, please?
Senior Constable Steve Petrosky, registration 17910.
Thank you.
Where are you residing?
What will happen if I don't give you my address? Am I required to by law?
Did I give you a lawful direction before?
Yes, so that includes the address. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay.
They do have the right to ask you to leave the premises.
Not for any reason. So the Human Rights Charter says that I only have to follow reasonable and lawful instructions from any authority. When they told me that you can't take pictures of people in public, that's false. It's actually against the law. The law says I can take pictures.
Now, this guy keeps bringing up the Human Rights Charter, and I looked online to see where I could find out if it's true what he's saying. But yeah, I couldn't find it. I mean, I looked online, I looked on the deep web, I called my local library, and I couldn't find any information about what he says is true. And I was about ready to give up. But then, this emu approached me with an aura, and well, I showed him this.
Oi, cunt. It doesn't exist.
But I don't have to follow the instructions if they're illegal and unlawful. Not if they're unlawful.
They have, because your behaviour is interfering and disrupting their trade.
It's me peacefully exercising my rights cannot be disruptive.
That's your interpretation.
That's the law.
When we have
It's
them
the law,
call
sir.
for police, they believe
You need to educate them that people can record. So I can record. Can I record in your police station?
in my police station.
Yes. Can I record in there? In the front lobby area.
In the front
where
lobby,
the public access. So why would I be allowed to record in the front lobby area and not here?
I wasn't here, so I'm just going on what witnesses have said.
I've
Your
just
behaviour was disruptive in
Sir, I'll
people
tell you.
here. Okay, I'm just.
I can show you what I recorded. I just walked around the walls, took all the signs, recorded all the signs, all the books.
You don't think that going and asking staff?
They asked me immediately. She came up to me.
Do you think that you should have gone and asked to see the librarian?
Absolutely not. So, sir, I may have a bad memory.
Yeah.
I'm recording for my memory as well. You know, I don't have to tell people my medical conditions, why I'm recording. The law.
Nobody's asking you to disclose any information about your medical history. But what the head librarian and manager told you was that it's okay for you to take a quick photo and that's it. But don't film patrons. You're not allowed to film. And you continue to do so. You were asked by staff multiple times to stop or leave. At this point, you're committing the crime of trespassing.
Says that I can. Yeah, but I don't know.
Would a reasonable person feel apprehensive about a stranger filming their child within a library? Would a reasonable person feel apprehensive?
Apprehensive? What does that mean?
Fearful. Uncomfortable.
This guy is fucking stupid!
Uncomfortable, fearful, concerned, worried.
If they're worried about that, they need to take their kids into a private area. I can't be responsible for what I capture when I'm in public. The law says I can film in public. This is freedom of expression, sir. Okay? It's not my problem how people feel. Is there a law against...
Wait a minute. I got to say something about that. I can't be held responsible for what I film.
What? Yeah.
Who's pointing the
filming it.
camera?
Yeah, you're filming it. How are you not responsible for what you film?
Right? Like, you're the one pointing the camera. So, yeah, you're the one who's responsible for what you film because you're the one filming it. Like, and I always hate that excuse. Where it's like, well, there's two things that he said that I wanted to address. First of all, the whole idea of your job isn't to serve the public by getting rid of me. Your job is to serve me by telling them I can do whatever I want. You go educate them that I'm allowed to do this. Oh, I hate, and I know that's one of your pet peeves too.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, I don't know about the police over there. I won't assume I know anything about Australian law or their police. But here, the police are here to serve the public, whole public, not just you.
Right.
The whole of the public. And that doesn't mean that when they come out, when they've been called, that you are going to come out on the side of right. They're here to serve everybody. So they have to trespass you. They're serving the public by doing that.
Right.
They seem to think that they're the only ones the police are there for. The police are there to work for them and them only.
Yep.
That's not the
Screw
case.
everybody else because nobody else's feelings matter.
Right. You are here for me. You need to tell them that I'm right and you're going to do what I want. Because my rights are the only ones that matter. You're not going to violate my rights.
Yep.
I don't care what they want. I don't care what the law says. I don't care that you can actually trespass me from a public place without breaking a law.
Right.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. They say that all the time, and it's like, no, you know, whatever. Do a little research. That's another thing, is do a little bit, just a tiny bit of research. But they don't want to, because then, oh, there goes my narrative. Whoops.
Right.
Say bye-bye to my little narrative then. But then it's, the police are there to serve everybody, not just the frauditors. They're there for everybody. They're there to uphold the law, and not just, you are here to uphold my rights. They do. They don't violate your rights. If they trespass you, that is not violating your right. They're following the law. They're following what they're supposed to do.
Did the people in the building ask you to leave? Yes. Did you leave? No. Boom, trespass.
Yeah,
it's not that complicated.
Yeah, it's the law. That's what they're allowed to do.
Yep.
They're not breaking the law. They're not breaking their oath. They're not, taking you out back and beating the crap out of you. They're not doing any of that. So, sorry. I know you guys, they seem to think that they've done nothing but violate their civil liberties, but they have not.
Nope.
They have not.
With the feelings thing again, too, it always drives me nuts with the whole pepper spray thing, because 99% of the time, it's never a self-defense thing. It's always I felt threatened, so I pepper sprayed him. Oh, now your feelings matter. Everybody else's feelings don't trump your rights, but your feelings trump my rights not to get pepper sprayed in the face.
If that were the case, and they felt threatened, why didn't they leave? Yeah. There was no video I've ever saw where there was pepper spray used, where if the frauditor was that afraid for their life that they didn't have time to leave, because nobody was ever after them. Nobody was ever going to harm them.
Right.
We could take the stock, the sock store, for example. The guy was turning around to walk back in the store.
Yep.
How was he being threatened? How was his life being threatened? At all.
Right. Yeah. It's like, if they're not going hands-on, and again, so many, every time, it's always comes down to, like, if they would have just taken their camera and said, oh, I'm sorry, and gone like that, just pointed the camera away from
No,
the
but that-
person,
That
the entire
doesn't get you
confrontation
clicks
would
and
be
views.
over.
Right, but that doesn't get clicks and views. There's no conflict. You're
Right.
talking as if they actually don't want conflict and actually just want to do the right thing. That is not the case. They will not make money on their channels without the conflict, without selling a stupid false narrative that doesn't make any sense. That if any one of their subs did any amount of research, it would all just fall apart.
Yep.
Google is there. Google's your fucking friend. Use it.
Yes. Exactamundo. Oh,
It's
man.
not hard to look up these things. It really isn't. It's not hard.
Nope.
Do I need to break a law to be trespassed? And you will find out that no, you don't need to break a law to be trespassed. They can trespass you for any reason.
And that argument also to me makes so little sense, because it's like the example I use, it's like, okay, if you're breaking some other law, why do they need to trespass you at that point? They could arrest you for the other law that you broke.
Yeah.
Like, why even have the trespassing statutes? Like,
Exactly. Why do they need trespassing at that point? If you're like, let's say you broke the law of like shoplifting.
right.
Of course you're going to be trespassed after they arrest you for shoplifting.
Right.
I mean, good Lord. Why do they need to? And what law are you going to break in City Hall first that would allow them to trespass? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I
Steal
wasn't
someone's pen? I mean,
I didn't walk
You
into
can
the
be
courthouse to attack a
trespassed.
lawyer. Right.
and then they use this thing of, well, what if they wanted, what if there was a sign that said no black people or no purple shirts? Okay, first of all, one's a civil right and one's a civil liberty. All right. First of all, learn the difference. Okay. And one is blatantly illegal that they would have been sued over long ago if they had a sign up that said that.
Yes.
So-
That's, we've both said this before. It's like, if they literally actually did violate your civil rights, they wouldn't get away for that for 2 seconds, because lawyers are chomping on the bits to get a case like that.
Yeah, they would be. They would be. Do you think they'd have the sign like that up and then lawyers wouldn't see that and go, oh my God, and be Hunger Gamings all the way to the courthouse to file that lawsuit? I mean, come on.
They'd be jumping over each other to file that because it's an easy win. Big bucks.
Oh my goodness. So that is like, you can't, sorry. And this, you have cameras recording me, and you walked into that building and gave, implied consent to be recorded. If you don't want to be on security cameras, you can just leave.
Right.
It's simple. You gave implied consent, and they aren't using that stuff to put it on YouTube to make a profit. There's a huge difference between what you're doing and what they're doing.
Yes. And they'll always make the argument, well, I could FOIA that footage, so what's the difference?
Go ahead. And it would be heavily redacted.
Not just that, but I always make the argument. Yeah, if you got it. I always make the argument that if you guys were legitimately trying to do what you argue you're trying to do, then that would be the way to do it. Because if you're truly trying to see how these employees treat the general public, FOIAing the security camera footage would show you exactly how they treat the general public. All you're saying is how they treat an asshole.
Yeah. You're going in there and getting a reaction to you being a literal jerk to them. Treating them like shit. Go in there and see how they are with everyday people by getting that footage, because that's how you're going to get a true reaction. You walking in there with a camera treating them like crap, you're not getting their actual way that they're actually treating normal customers, the ones that aren't walking in there with cameras and treating them like garbage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then telling them you should be polite to me no matter what I say to you and what I do to you, even though you're a human being with feelings. And I'm going to sit here and call you trash and say you're bad at your job and everything I can possibly say to you to make you feel horrible. And you're not supposed to react. You're supposed to stand there like a robot smiling at me and do whatever I ask you to do. No, you're not going to get a true reaction that way. You're going to get them reacting to a dick. That's what you're going to get.
And you mentioned this earlier too, and it goes back around to the same point, is this idea of they'll always say, when you talk about like with journalism or with anything that these guys supposedly do, it's like there's certain ways that people are supposed to behave. There's certain rules and regulations that you, like as a librarian, need to follow or whatever it is.
Oh,
But I don't have to follow any rules or regulations. Those policies are for you guys. They're not for me.
But I am following my rules and regulations by not letting you record.
Right.
I am following my ethics by not letting you record. I am controlling the privacy and creating the privacy by not letting you record. They always say that. Well, then create the privacy. I am by not letting you record.
Right. They never get that point.
So, I mean, I can't create the privacy and let you record. So one of it's going to have to give, and you're going to be the one that gives. You're going to go. You know, sorry. My patrons are going to feel comfortable coming here. They're not going to have to worry that there's going to be somebody here with a camera following them around because they asked to not be recorded.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you ask not to be recorded, you're going to get punished for it, no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Then they're going to definitely follow you around and harass you.
Yep.
Because you said I didn't want to be recorded. Because God forbid you should say that.
Yep, that's the cardinal sin. Anyway, let's see what else this Australian idiot has for us. Real quick, I like the way NCR threw in that emu bit. I thought that was funny. Just a little jab at Australia, but obviously a friendly one. That was funny.
It may not, you may not feel it's your problem, but it becomes our problem and it becomes their problem. Because a lot of people would go in there and act foolish, yell, swear, and they think, well, they just have to deal with my behaviour.
It's a disturbance, it's an offence.
You're committing a disturbance because you're causing people apprehension. And
sorry, Hez. I want to answer this before, because this is exactly what I said, right? Did I say this? I said that civil rights were good and civil liberties were bad, right? Because that's exactly what I said, right?
What? No, it's two different things.
I said they were two different things. Learn the difference. I didn't say civil liberties were bad or insignificant. Did that come out of my mouth?
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
But here we are. Here we are with this guy, the same guy always.
Yeah.
Putting words in my mouth that I didn't say.
Right.
So they were two different things. And if your civil rights were being, like if they put a sign on the door said, you can't wear a purple shirt or no blacks allowed, then that's your civil rights that are being violated. And then somebody would sue. Your civil liberties are where they tell you that you can't be in here recording. And you guys always say, oh, you're violating my rights. No, they're violating your civil liberties. And it's not a violation of your civil liberties to tell you you can't record in a place where you're not allowed to record. Right. I never said your civil liberties were bad or insignificant.
Right.
I don't think anybody here can rewind this and say where I said that.
Because it didn't happen.
Exactly. So please, you can find where I said that. Go ahead and find it and bring it to my attention.
Yes. Here's the thing with that whole argument, and I think ultimately the point is that when they use that example, because they'll specifically say, well, there's no recording in here. The sign says no recording. Well, what if the sign said no blacks? If the sign said no blacks, that would be a violation of your civil rights. That's completely different. Not that anything that isn't your civil rights doesn't matter or is insignificant. It's that it's not the same thing. It's kind of like when they say, when a random person on the street tells them they can't film, they're violating my civil rights. They can't do that. You and I can't violate a regular person's civil rights. The government can. If we're not government and we tell you not to do something.
There's a difference. See, this is where you get it wrong. The civil rights we can violate somebody's civil rights. You can, if you own a business or whatever. You can't.
Oh, right.
You can't violate them. The civil liberties, we can't. Those are the constitutional rights that everybody has. Those are civil liberties. That's where everybody. That's
where the difference, right?
Everybody assumes those are your civil rights. No, your civil rights are where they have the protected classes and stuff. Those are civil rights. Civil liberties are what's the constitutionally protected rights. It's different.
Right, exactly. I cannot violate your freedom of speech. If I tell you to
No.
shut up, I'm just
You're
being a
allowed
jerk.
to. You're just another citizen that can do that. You can
Right.
do that. You can do that all you want. It's no big deal. You do that
Exactly.
because you're not the government. You can't violate that. It's not, you and I cannot violate the constitutional rights of another person. It's
Right.
just not possible because we're not government.
Right. And if we actually did do something to someone,
It would be
that
criminal.
wouldn't be a civil rights infraction. That would be a criminal action.
Right.
You know, so whatever. But yes, that's taking what we were talking about and twisting it. It's like, no, we're just saying that they're two different things. Not that one doesn't matter and the other one does. Whatever. Anyway, filming in a library is stupid. That's the point.
There's really no reason, in my opinion, to have to go in and record and make people feel bad about doing their job.
Right.
You know, and try and cause a reaction when there really shouldn't be a reaction to them doing their job. I mean, why? Why would you want to walk in and deliberately cause a problem for somebody?
Money, 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 money.
Right, exactly. But they say it's for everybody's rights. It's like, no, I never asked you to do that. I know a lot of people that never asked you to do that. So don't speak for me. You're not protecting anything of mine.
Yep.
I never saw the First Amendment as being under attack. Nobody has ever said, gee, I wonder, I really want to go in this post office and record. It's not a thing. It's just not a thing that people are interested in doing.
Right.
What they want to do at the post office, get in and get the hell out.
Same thing with the DMV.
Yeah, they want to get in and get the hell out. They're not interested in wandering around, recording the walls and getting reactions out of people. That's just not a thing. We know why you do it. All right. We're not dumb. Nobody's dumb except maybe the people that follow them. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
nobody here is dumb.
Anyway, speaking of dumb people, let's watch this idiot finish auditing this post office.
Yeah.
Fear because you're filming in a public place
That's
where
their
they
problem.
deem that it's not appropriate.
You're not feelings enforcement, you guys are law enforcement.
Well, actually, no. When we come to the place of public nuisance and move on
cannot
directions,
be.
it does come into the fact of how people feel and how those feelings are interrupting with their trade. So your behaviour in there, whether you deem it to be lawful, whether you deem it to be fine, and it doesn't matter, it does in this
And
situation.
peaceful.
Under the Public Nuisance Act, under the Summary Offences Act, public nuisance is anyone's behaviour that interferes with the trade and ongoing and passage and peacefulness of a business. All right? Now, this is a business under the council.
These constables have explained perfectly to this guy why he's a disturbance and why they've been called there. If his behavior, after being told not to film and to stop or leave, and he was refusing to leave, this is just proving their point. And well, he is disturbing their ability to conduct business, especially if people are going there to get books or to, help teach their children or to get some legal documents taken care of through the Justice of the Peace.
They run this, okay? They pay people to run it. It's a business.
I pay them, my taxes pay
You
them.
can pay them as much as you like.
My taxes pay them, my taxes pay you.
So,
Pay your
they're
wages.
saying that your behaviour...
No, your taxes come out of our
Your
taxes.
behaviour...
Your taxes come out of my taxes.
Those issues within their business. So they asked you to stop that behaviour. You said you didn't have to. You said, I'm going to
Absolutely.
continue.
I'm not going to allow them to violate my rights. The law says I can do this. You name me something else that I'll do in there that the law says. Tell me another example that the law says I can do and it will make them uncomfortable, they can ask me to leave. You cannot name another example.
I'm going to give you an official move on direction. Do you understand that? You already filmed that?
Yep. I'm going to take both you guys to court. You're violating my rights. They violated my rights first. You guys are continuing to do so. And you're still not social distancing properly.
You don't have to social distance. You don't have to social distance.
Oh, come on, sir.
I'm now giving you an official move on direction. You are to leave the Kawana Library area, so this entire building.
He's just been given a move-on directive, which is the equivalent of a criminal trespassing here. Now, if he chooses to stay or return after receiving this move-on directive, he could be facing up to a year in the jail or a $2,500 fine.
Including this park, including the, what's that road in there? Up to the road, and also up to Point Cartwright Drive, so that area. So you can't come, you're not allowed into school anyway. All right, so you can't come within the school. You can't come with 100 metres of this building.
I'm not allowed in the school.
No, you're not allowed. No.
If I have a question, I'm allowed to go in the school and ask. A member of the public is allowed to go.
You can go to the front door.
Yes.
You're not permitted anywhere else by the front administration.
To reception, like an administration. Yeah.
So you're not allowed with 100 metres of this building.
Okay.
Do you understand
Yes,
that?
yes.
For the next 12 hours. All right?
And what will happen if I don't leave here
I'm going to
now?
explain that to you. All right? So this move on direction effective immediately. So once we finish talking to you, you must leave immediately. Do you understand that? The reason being of your disruptive behaviour in there. Okay? That is the reason you are being
Which was me peacefully recording my experience at the library. You are aware of
So
that?
that is you refusing to stop filming when staff have asked, and then when you've asked to leave, you haven't left. Okay? This is the reason you're getting a move on, because members of the public have become fearful of your behaviour in there. Do you understand that?
Me.
And they're fearful enough that they've called us.
You're not feelings enforcement.
So, if you fail or contravene that direction to move on and come within 100 metres within 12 hours, so the time is now 10:42.
Yep.
So that'll be 11:42. No, 12:42 in the morning. So 12:42 in the morning.
Oh, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. So tomorrow's morning. On the 1st of the 6th. If you return within those 12 hours, you'll be contravening my direction, and you could be committing an offence, and therefore you could be charged.
We're ending the video here. The constables explain to him why he must leave, and he still goes around in circles, arguing that it's his rights under the Human Rights Charter to do so, even though we have covered that it doesn't apply here. But before we go, I have some parting words from my emu friend who would like to address this guy.
Here in Australia, we practice 4 magical letters, F-A-F-O. Yeah, that's right, cunt. Fuck around, find out.
Wiser words have never been said. So if you guys want to help the emu army, they'll gladly take donations of VB longnecks. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I will see you guys next time.
All right, NCR News
all
Network.
The news team. Without your guys'
Round of applause for NCR, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh dearie dear. Yeah, that guy with the comment earlier, I remember there have been a few times that he's been on here and he said things that kind of set me off too. It almost seems like he intentionally goes after you though. I don't know, like
yeah, him and a few others. It's all right. They're like lost little dogs. They have nothing better to do. I don't know why they don't go to their own people and, you know, kiss their butt or whatever. So they got to come here and cause trouble, but that's all right.
Like we're lens lickers. Go lick some lenses.
I mean, maybe they got to do something before they go to work. I don't know. All right.
But anyway, how about the video overall now that it's done and the whole interaction?
Just repeat a lot of the catchphrases that
American Frauditors do.
That American Frauditors do, like, "Ooh, what would happen if I don't leave?" And you know,
right.
But he listed the rights, that the 5 rights under their, I don't know what they call it, their rights,
their constitution, whatever.
Their constitution, yeah. And it didn't seem like they had a freedom of press or freedom of anything like that. But I don't know. Again, I'm not going to even pretend I know what their laws are, or their constitution, or their charter of rights, or whatever they call it, because I never studied it. I don't know. I never even looked it up. So
right.
I'm not even going to pretend I know what his rights are, what they're not, what the ability to record in public is or isn't over there. You know, I don't know. All I know is that he did mimic a lot of what the frauditors here say. So,
yes.
whether it's true or not, if they were violated, if he got, if there are rights to do anything like that in public over there, I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult because so many of these, and there have been certain videos that we've covered where some of these frauditors in other countries have literally just used the arguments that they saw in American frauded videos to the point where, like, I've heard people in other countries quote the First Amendment. Like, there is no First Amendment in this country. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
No. That I've seen in like a lot of the Canadian people is that they will start quoting, like, I saw one quote our Fourth Amendment when he was asked to ID. And the cop was like, well, we're not going to be doing that. And the guy was like, why? He's like, 'cause this is in America. So you'll be giving me your ID, And I was like, gosh, what a dope. It's like, do you not realize what you're doing? You're not, that was Canada. This is, totally different. They have Charter of Rights there. We have the Constitution. And I don't think it says anything in their Charter of Rights about having like what a similar thing to our Fourth Amendment. You know what I mean? Like,
and even if it does, you don't quote the Fourth Amendment as your argument against it.
Quote your own. Hi, Schrodinger, Mrs. Schrodinger's cat. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? Let's throw her a quick happy dance. Great to see you.
It's great to see you. Hope you're doing well. So I mean, it's just, I think it makes me laugh a little, not really be able to take it seriously, because how are you quoting our Constitution and you're in a whole nother country? I've seen it with the UK people, seen it up in Canada, not so much with the Australian people, but they seem to just quote a lot of what the Frauditors here say.
Right.
Just not about the amendments and things like Fourth Amendment violation. They don't say anything like that or quote our First Amendment or anything.
Right. So, Mrs. Cat, now that you're here, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you saw this. It's a lucid dream video. We just covered it this morning. And I think that Schrodinger would have loved this one. It's a frauditor, Joey Surreal Camera, who's auditing City Hall or whatever it is, and he gets trespassed. And then some lady that's standing outside starts talking to him. She's a sovereign citizen. And she's spouting all the sovereign citizen nonsense to him. He has no idea what she's talking about. He's countering with all the frauditor nonsense. She has no idea what he's talking about. And it was great because at one point, he's like, well, yeah, but I'm in there to film. And the sovereign citizen lady, she's like, why would you want to do that? Like, even the sophist can't understand a frauditor is fraudits. Like,
yeah, she's like, why would you want to take pictures? Like, she was so confused.
Yeah.
They were confused with each other, and it was like the world was going to implode because you had sovereign citizen and a frauditor talking to each other.
Yeah. And each of them were just like reciting their scripts, and answering everyone with just other quotes from the script and no actual arguments on either side. And neither of them knew what the other one was talking about at all.
It was really funny. And
yeah, it was
good looking.
Yeah, she said Joey. Ugh.
I think she was trying to sell him on it, trying to get him to buy the paperwork, but
right, exactly. Just trying to flirt with him to get him to buy her whatever she was selling. Because she did mention several times that, well, I got all the paperwork for you to declare yourself a non-citizen and cash in on your Social Security card in my backpack. Like, yeah, she was trying to sales pitch the guy.
Yeah. Stupid meeting
into buying her
exactly.
Yep, stupid meeting stupid.
The earth was going to be thrown off its axis because it was like, oh man, oh no. But it ended up being quite funny. So
Yep. Yeah, that was quite the video, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my dearie dear.
It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good anyway.
It was great. I love that video. But we got about 10 minutes left. So what do you guys want to discuss in the last segment of the show here? This is always, the last part is always just the hang out and chat part.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to talk about? Australian emu wars?
Emu wars, no. I guess I should study up on that, but I probably still wouldn't be as good as knowing what our own laws are, our own constitution. We studied that for years, in school.
Right.
Well,
And
most
plus,
of us did. I don't know why they didn't, but
well, they did, but that doesn't mean they understood it.
true. But you had to pass Constitution tests and move on to. Well, we did in Chicago. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To graduate
Absolutely.
elementary and to graduate high school, you had to take Constitution. You had to take civics classes, government. You had to pass a increasingly harder Constitution test. So I don't know. Maybe other cities weren't the same. Other places weren't the same. But I always thought it was criteria met anywhere that you had to do that.
Well, plus there are, different schools.
See you later, Erica.
Different schools will have different, we could getting into the school system and how they do it is a whole nother subject altogether.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. But you know what, that is a good point to bring up because, we say this all the time as well. There are so many things. The school system is one of them, the public school system specifically or whatever. But in general, there are so many issues with the government and with these things that are a problem that do need to be tweaked or fixed or changed or whatever. And shoving your camera in a woman's face and insulting her isn't going to change any of that. I had a conversation with my Japanese friend about Godzilla -1. She explained the title to me. Oh.
I shouldn't have highlighted this, but I did.
Tell me, I need to know. Joey Surreal LLB. Yes. I love it. Oh man, that's what we got to start calling them.
Talking like a sovereign citizen, we'll know.
Yeah.
He kept talking to her and bought into it. Because they were going to follow each other's channels. If they really did or not, I don't know.
Yeah. I want to find the original video on Joey's channel and see like what kind of comments he got from his subscribers on there. Like, were they like, oh, she's a soft set, you don't need to listen to that? Or, oh, yeah, she's right. You got to look into that, man, and cash in on your Social Security card and get $1 billion. Because they wrote your name wrong. They put it in all caps.
How do they?
I love the part when she started trying to get into the whole like I'm not a person, right, argument, and he's like, "What do you mean I'm not a person? I'm a guy. I'm standing here. What do you think that means that they can violate my rights?" She's like, "No, you don't understand."
That he has the right to put his hands on me? Is that what you're saying? That he's allowed to touch me? It's like,
right.
No.
And she's like, no.
You're not the all caps name that,
Right. They're allowed to put their hands on the all caps name, but you're not that. They're not allowed to put their hands on the non-person. It's like, how do you, they're trying to explain stupidity to each other.
I have a right to go in there, record. I have the right to go in there. It was, why do you want to take pictures? Why do you, it's like.
Oh, man. I love that interaction. I'm probably going to watch it again, maybe even use clips of it on my own, like on a video, because that's, to me, like I said, there are certain things that happen. Every once in a while, you watch a video and you're like, okay, this is going to be something. Like that one with the Moors in the library a couple of weeks ago, where she's like, well, I'm the empress, so I have to tell you what to do. You can't tell me to leave, as they're walking her out of the building.
As they're walking her out, yeah, and the guy was just, I don't even know what was wrong with that guy.
I love how she was trying to tell him that he didn't understand their language. Right, because the Sovsits, their whole thing is based on the idea that there's a secret language that the cops and all those people and the judges and the lawyers and all them use. And once you know that language, that's the key to freedom. I don't know where they get this nonsense that they can't be touched by security or police. Well,
I didn't know that either. Like, where are they getting this from that they can't be escorted out with, them touching them or stuff? I always thought they can literally pick you up and throw you out if they want to.
Right? I mean, like,
after the people.
When they say, it drives me nuts when they say observe and report, because what's the point of having a security guard? Like, okay, somebody's stabbing someone to death. They have to, and they are carrying a gun. they're only allowed to stand there and watch you stab the guy to death and then call the cops and report that they saw a stabbing.
Yeah, or imagine a bank robbery. Like, okay. Huh.
Hey, look, there's somebody taking money. Yeah. I observed it.
Watch him walk out. I observed it. Now let me report it. I mean, no, that's not how it works. Why do they think that? Why have security if that's all they're there for? I don't think so, bud. I don't think so.
Why give them guns? Why?
Yeah. Why do you have armed security if they're only to observe and report? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
In Florida, Jim, they're allowed to, especially if they have arresting powers, they're allowed to put hands on you. They're allowed to escort you out of the building.
Yep.
I've seen people literally thrown from places.
Oh, yeah.
By
especially
just,
like bars and stuff.
Yeah, just by bouncers that aren't even, shouldn't even be called security people. Been to White Sox games where people have been tossed and, literally like picked up and like thrown out,
Well, that's different though. If you're going to a White Sox game, you should expect there's going to be some of that going on. Because I don't think I've been to one ever where there wasn't something that happened.
In your mouth in one day.
Huh?
How do you fit so many feet in your mouth in one day? It's like,
well, but I mean, I used to go to the Sox games all the time, and I always saw that.
It's a world
what?
Record. It's a world record how many feet you can fit in your mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women and children of all ages, in case anyone doesn't understand, as you know, Ray and I talk all the time, not just when we're on the air. And both of us being from Chicago, we had a debate once with the Cub versus Sox thing. And so now ever since then, she's like, come on, you're a Southsider. Shut up. It's Sox. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed watching the Cubs too. They had Harry Carey and now. So
you can't be both. You cannot be both and be from Chicago. It's not a thing. You just can't.
Yes, I know.
Can't say I'm a fan of both. No. People from Naperville say that.
Yeah. Yes. And again, that was the thing. Whenever I went to a game, it was always a Sox game. I've never been to a Cubs game, but the Sox, I've told you before where I lived, we used to stand outside of the stadium and watch the fireworks every night, I'm a Sox fan.
Here. Yeah.
Mixed marriage. Well, the question is that kind of a mixed marriage better or worse than a Bears and Packers fans marriage? You just need to zip it.
There cannot be. Yes. Thank you, Donna Ray. Stop before you can't fit any more feet in there.
Here's your happy dance, Donna. All right. Yes.
Yeah. No, but you can live with baseball. It's like nobody hardly watches baseball on TV. It's not like you sit around watching all 180 games or whatever if they're on TV or at home or whatever. You don't sit around watching all that, but you watch every football game.
Yes, never miss a game.
To be married to no. No.
I've seen on the internet, I've actually seen these like carpets and like all different things, like carpets that are like half blue, half navy blue, and half green and orange or whatever, like for Bear Packer households, and like towel sets where they're his and hers, but they're Bears and Packers, but they're mixed on purpose. Like you can't do that.
I'd rather be married to
It was funny because I was talking earlier about that guy who's his whole channel is making videos that are jokes about Chicago. And one of his videos, he's a guy, he's got an I Love New York shirt on. And somebody orders a pizza and he's like, what the heck is this? That looks like a lasagna or something. He's like, no, it's a Chicago pizza. It's a deep dish pizza. You need to take a bite. He's like, I don't know, man. But he's like, okay, I'll try it. And then he takes a bite of the deep dish pizza. And then he has a mustache and he goes, fuck the Packers.
Yeah. Turns into a Chicago guy all of a sudden. The guy was like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What happened? Yeah.
And then he put his chair on the table. He's like, what are you doing? I'm keeping my pizza.
Yeah, I'm taking my pizza. I'm saving his bet. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't understand that joke, that definitely was something growing up in Chicago. when you would shovel the snow to shovel your car out, and then you would pull out, you would fill that spot with chairs so that nobody else would park there because you went through all that trouble to shovel out your spot. You're keeping it.
Yep. Everybody understood it too. You didn't move somebody else's furniture because you're liable to get your butt kicked. But they stopped that now. They send around the garbage people to pick up all your furniture now. They don't let you do that anymore.
Oh.
They stopped it. Yeah.
I used to love doing that.
I know, but now they put a stop to it. I forgot which mayor it was, but before Lightfoot. It was the mayor before Lightfoot, I think. Put a stop and said they were going to send around the garbage collectors and pick up any furniture left in the parking spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a Chicago tradition.
I know, but I guess there's too many butthurt people that moved into the uppity areas in Chicago, you know, the gentrified areas, so they get butthurt and I couldn't get a spot because somebody's dresser was in it, you know. Now if you go around and see some really funny furniture in spots. I mean,
oh yeah,
really funny stuff in some spots, you know.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, that being said, guys, we're at the 3-hour mark. Thank you so much for joining us once again. I love you guys. You're the best fans in the world. Any last words for the fans before we go?
Have a good day. I'll see you later.
All right.
Oh yeah, I do. I'll be doing a live with Takedown later, probably about 12:30ish, because I have occupational therapy at 11. So probably about 12:30 for that. And I'll be promoting. There's going to be a new channel premiering this weekend.
Ooh.
And I'll be sharing it on that channel because he wants Takedown and me to be his first guest. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. Right. 12:30 probably today. All right. See you guys.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you so much. Always great to have you here. And always great to have all of you here every single day. We love you guys. The Rash family's in full effect. You're the best fans in the world. I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you in the morning. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll shook up.
It's like normal tennis, but without the racket.
Oh, no, I played this one last week. Sorry.
Why did the God of Thunder need to stretch his leg muscles? He was a little Thor.